Hey, all you lovely people. Hope you're having a wonderful Sunday night, wherever you may be, staying safe and having fun on this lovely weekend. We got a great stream for you tonight. We're going to be ranking the Ghostface killers, all of them from the franchise. Going to be a little different, though, on who's counted and who's not. So we'll get into that when we bring our guests in. We do have, as I said, some guests. They're going to be throwing their rankings in as well. We're gonna see how well we line up, and I'd love to hear from y'all in the chat as well on who you rank. So we're going to be going 13-1, bottom to top, and yeah, just listen them out and give them why we like them or why we ranked them low. We'll get into that, but first, let's go ahead and bring on the guests. I'm going to bring them on in alphabetical order because I feel like that's the least bad way to do it, I guess. No favoritisms. It's just the alphabet. All right. So first, we're going to bring on my buddy Kyle from Flet's Movies and Pop Culture 13.
Hey, how you doing, man? Thanks for having me.
Good.
This could be a fun time.
Yeah. Thanks for being on. I'm curious to see what your list is. See if we line up on who the best and worst is. But
Same here, and I think this is the first time I've been on your channel too, I think.
it might be. I have a problem asking people. I feel bad asking people to be on the channel. I'm like, I don't want to inconvenience you. So,
Right.
and I think you actually reached out to me about being on, which is awesome. That was so good for me because I didn't have to ask. So,
Yeah. And I always
uh,
want to do this kind of thing, and you guys were doing it. I was like, oh, maybe I should ask. So
yeah,
it
yeah.
worked
I'm
out.
glad
So
you did, man. Yeah, I'm glad you did. All right. And next up, we're gonna bring in my buddy Marcus from. You know what? I'm gonna let him say his channel name because I don't know anyone who says it like him. But let's bring Marcus on. What's your channel name, buddy?
I shot him 6 times.
you shot him in the heart.
See, I don't know anyone who can say it like you, so I didn't even want to mess it up. So
I appreciate that, buddy. And thank you for inviting me here to this stream. This is definitely going to be a fun time. And, anytime I'm available, man, you want me to come in on the stream, I'll join you, my friend.
that's nice to know. I'll definitely reach out more with stuff like this because I'm loving ranking, and I feel if it's just
Man.
me, I'm like, cool, I can throw my rank out there, but I feel like more people need to bounce off and stuff. So
Right.
I'll definitely reach out to y'all to have you on more. All right, let's see who's in the chat before we jump into this. And if you're wondering, Steven from Craven Something Scary was supposed to be here. Unfortunately, he can't make it tonight. He said he'd be in the chat, and if he is, then I did leave his ranking line in there. So if he wants to throw out his answers, then I'll get his line in there. If not, send positive vibes his way. Hope you're feeling better, buddy.
Yeah, definitely, Steven. Hope you're feeling better, man.
Yeah, hope you're feeling better, buddy.
We got Russell Dorsey jumping in. First thing, what's up, everyone? I smashed the like button before I came in. This awesome stream and chat. Thank you so much. And that's a good reminder. If you haven't, please hit the thumbs up button. It really does help out with that terrible YouTube algorithm. So, Katie from Popping the Popcorn, happy Sunday. Thanks for stopping by, Katie. Miss Sarah Campbell. I'm really curious to see what her rankings are if she sticks around to rank. I think mine is going to be different from like everyone else's because I've got some crazy things in mind. I think.
Well, that's what makes it fun. So.
Yeah, I was gonna say,
Absolutely, man.
It could be. Let's see who else we got here. Of course, we got Kyle jumping in the chat as well.
Who is that guy?
Who is that guy? Katie saying she'll come on anytime. I will take you up on that, Katie. All right, y'all. I think I don't think I missed anyone. If I did, I'm sorry, but we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna jump into this. I don't know about y'all, but I'm anxious to get my list out there.
Oh yeah.
Same here.
So I put it, like I said, in alphabetical order. And as y'all can see here, from top to bottom, we got Craven, Flat, shot him 6 times, me, and then we got some dishonorable mentions, because I don't think any of these people are really honorable. So we got dishonorable mentions, and that's gonna be for the people who weren't really confirmed. And before we jump into this, I'm gonna throw out my reasoning on who makes the list of Ghostfaces, right? Because in six got a little crazy. You had all those people in costumes.
Mhm.
and there was a lot of stuff that went down. So, for clarification's sake, for me, in order to be considered a ghost face, you have to have committed a murder in costume, made a phone call, and be the antagonist or one of the antagonists of a movie. So,
Right.
and there's a reason for that because technically Sam puts on the costume, she makes a phone call, and she commits a murder. So technically she could fit, but she's not an antagonist.
Right.
And that also rules out like Greg, for instance, in the opening
Mhm.
of Scream 6. Jason and Greg were partners, but Greg never did anything. So
True.
that's why we got it the way it is. So if you're wondering why it looks this way, there's your answer. Also, the order of the characters here, that is also alphabetical order. Um, Bailey is I have him saved as Detective Bailey, so it rang up that way. But these are all should be alphabetical order. So before we get into individual rankings, why don't we go over we'll like group rank the dishonorable mentions.
All
All
right.
right.
Okay.
So first dishonorable mention we got who is the last in dishonorable mention for y'all? Like who's the
Um.
worst of the dishonorable mentions?
Oh, it'd have to
Uh,
be Greg, in my opinion, for me, because if he didn't do anything.
Yes, I would actually, and then I'll give you my reasoning. Or actually, Kyle, go ahead. You're a guest. You go ahead and throw out yours first. What were you going to say?
Mine was also Greg too, because
Okay, so
you don't really get to see him do anything much.
that's true. I was going to say Danny, and this is why.
Mm.
He didn't do anything, but also we don't even technically know if he's bad.
Yeah.
So as a ghost face dishonorable mention, I would put him last. But what do y'all think? Do you think he should go last, or do you think Greg should go
No,
last?
I mean,
Um.
that makes sense, though. I mean, especially because if he does turn out to like be a Ghostface killer, then you're gonna have to rank him as a killer. So, I mean,
Especially. Oh, go
and,
ahead.
and there is suspicion around him. So, I mean, that makes sense.
Especially he could be pretend to love Sam all this time, and then end up being a killer in the
I,
next time or so.
I mean, if he's playing the long game like that, I mean, we know Richie. How long did Richie?
6 months.
Six months.
He
Yeah.
put in 6 months of work. So Richie played a little bit of that long game. But so in last place, we going with Greg or we going with Danny? Who y'all say?
Danny.
Danny,
Danny.
I
All right.
agree.
So Danny's going up here in last place. All right. Next we have, and I only put these on here because I knew someone would have these opinions. So the other three we got Greg, Angelina, and Kirby. So who's next on dishonorable mentions? And if you're in the chat, throw your answer out as well.
Would have to go to maybe Greg, I think.
I feel like Greg could go there.
Yeah, I do too.
Okay. All right, cool. We'll throw Greg. We'll throw Greg in there. And this list is entirely subjective right now because none of these people are confirmed as doing anything. They're just the ones
Right,
that were like, got my eye on you, got a little extra attention their way.
right.
All right. So this might be where it gets a little off. The answers might be a little skewed here. Angelina or Kirby? Who's next?
Hmm. Um.
For me, if you want to know, for me it's Kirby because I feel like if there's a likelihood of these two people being Ghostface, I think Angelina has a higher likelihood.
Yeah, I think it's got to go to Kirby because they were hinting at it that she might, and she might not be, but she can still turn into a different type of Kirby and see that dark side of hers. So
Right.
That's
And
true.
Angelina, she was supposed to be a ghost face. So that
Yeah.
would make sense that
yeah,
Kirby goes next and then Angelina.
All right. So
yeah.
Sarah, oh Marcus, I'm sorry, I'm covering up your face there, buddy.
Oh, you good, man?
So the reason Kirby and Danny are on here is they're dishonorable mentions because they're characters that have a very high level of suspicion around them. Like they're not confirmed ghost faces, but a lot of people think they could be. So we're just throwing them in there to have fun on that bottom tier because I really didn't want to leave out Greg and Angelina because those are the highest ones. But I figured if those two make it in there, then we should at least have some other like high level suspicion characters.
Right, because it's
I
always
thought
fun
that
to
was a
talk
good
about.
idea.
Yeah. I wanted to have that. Okay, so if that's the list, then I think if we're agreeing, then I think the suspect or the dishonorable mentions list, you move. Looks like that right there. We got Angelina, Kirby, Greg, and Danny.
Oh, somebody's in the knocking at the private chat.
Somebody's knocking at the door. Oh, look who it is, my buddy Steven from Craven Something Scary.
Oh,
We
Hey.
can't do a ghost breaker without Craven himself.
Hey,
You know
guys.
what?
How you doing, Craven?
I had the sixth sense that you were going to show up because I had to remake the list because unfortunately Destin couldn't make it. But I'm like, you know what? I'm going to leave Steven's list. If he wants to jump in the chat, I'll put it up there.
Yeah,
Here-
awesome.
Here you are, buddy.
Here
Hope
I
you're doing
am,
well.
man.
Hope you're doing well, Steven.
Thank you, my friends. Yeah, I don't know how late I'm going to stay up tonight, but I'm going to be here as long as I can physically be here. Put it that way.
All right. I mean, I'm not planning on going super late tonight. I don't think it'll take too long to get through this week because we all probably we're gonna have similar things to say about each one. So
Mhm. Yeah.
I don't think it's gonna be too crazy. But I mean, if you're not feeling like you're gonna be here for long, I say we jump right on into it. So just
don't
so
let
you,
me don't let me mess you up, brother. You go. Don't let me
Oh.
do that.
you're really not at all. We had just gone through the dishonorable mentions there. I don't know how much you saw from backstage, but
I just got in. I see my girl Angelina.
okay. So yeah, I
Yeah.
had the four extras, the four people who they got a lot of suspicion around them, and I
True.
think it's valid. So
Yeah.
so I wanted to throw them in there, and we basically have them. Angelina's like the most likely to be a ghost face.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Greg didn't do anything, so he's kind of toward the bottom. And then Danny, we don't know if he's good or bad at period.
Yeah. We don't.
So that's where we're at with that. But we're
Okay.
just about to jump in. And I have it in alphabetical here. So we're going to start at number 13. So, Steven, we're going to go with you first, my buddy. Who is
Oh.
your least favorite ghost face?
Oh god.
Who's the first one going on the list?
Man, dude. And this includes the dishonorable mentions, right? Are you saying we're not?
No. Just dishonorable mentions are all going to stay in that row.
Okay.
Yeah. So we're going to have the
That's
uh,
fair.
a row of the 13 confirmed.
Okay. All right. You think this would be easy for me, right? You think I would have this like on speed dial, but it's really not.
Yeah, as I say, I was telling the guys backstage. When I was making my list, it was really easy for the top three and like the bottom three, but the middle was so difficult.
Mhm.
So I'm not judging anyone. It's
Sure.
To
Oh,
throw
yeah.
this out to the chat too, or anyone on the replay. These are just our opinions. Let's not have any hostility if you think someone else is better or they're anything
Yep.
like that. So
Yeah.
this
That's
is all
right.
just opinions, and I'd love to know who your least favorite is in the chat. So throw it down there. Who's your least favorite of the confirmed ghost faces?
Okay, I'll get the ball rolling, man. It's definitely not Stu Macher. That's for sure.
I wasn't thinking I'd be picking him for a while.
Oh,
Probably a good while, yeah. I'm going to go ahead and say, not because he did a bad job per se or anything, but he only had one kill, and he went out like he got schooled basically in his own house.
Oh, I know who we're going with.
Yeah, and so I'm going to have to say Jason is my lowest ranked of the list.
All right, we're starting off with Jason, and I agree. He was a I want to be a ghost face, and he met someone who's a I am ghost face.
Yes.
So, all right, I don't think that's a bad choice at all. All right, Flet, moving down, buddy. What's your least favorite ghost face?
oh, mine's also Jason. He only killed Samara Weaving's character just once. We don't know much about him, and then he just gets taken out by another ghost face. So definitely Jason.
All right. I mean, it's a good choice. This is where I think we're gonna we're gonna have a lot of different answers. But Marcus,
Yeah.
buddy, what's yours?
Might surprise some people, and I hate to do it, because I think she had a lot of potential, but I have to put Quinn.
Really?
Oh,
Yeah.
Okay.
Nice.
Hey
Yeah.
man, no judgment. I think having three there, it gets kind of muddled on what you can say she like for sure did.
Right.
So
Mm-hmm.
so I'm not gonna disagree with any of those. For me, I'm going Richie because I thought Richie was just I don't feel like he actually did much, if I'm being honest. I feel like Sam was telling the truth. He made Amber do all the stuff, and when we know it was him, like attacking Mindy,
Mm-hmm.
he was just kind of I'm gonna say pansy to be a little bit more politically correct. He just was not that great. So for me, least favorite is Richie.
To quote Sam, he was a man baby.
100%.
I laugh so hard when she says that every time.
Dude, when
He
you
was a
see her
man baby.
eyes shift, like that
Oh,
was one of my favorite moments with Sam because she's just like she goes from scared to
just
like lethal. Her eyes shift, and it was just in a moment. I'm like, oh, she's about to do something, bro. I love that moment with Sam, but I don't think that's a bad way to start off the bottom. All right, so let's go up from there. Let's do it draft style. So we're going back to Marcus from I Shot Him 6 Times. What do you got for your next one, buddy?
Jason. I put
Okay.
Jason at number 12 because, I mean, though he did have a really cool line, now I see red, something red. I love that line.
Mm-hmm.
He was a wannabe Ghostface. We don't really we will never find out the extra potential he could have had, but he did dress up. He had one kill, which is why I put him ahead of Quinn because he actually did have a kill. And I don't know if Quinn did any killing, so I'd go with Jason as my number 12.
Okay. All right. I mean, I can't hate on it. I'm going to tell you also, Jason's not too far behind on my list either. I don't think he's lasting for anyone for a while. But all right, Flat man, what do you got?
Oh, so my next one is Richie.
Rich.
So,
Okay.
Yeah, because he doesn't come close to what Billy Loomis was. He's the opposite, I think. And he's just a whiny little baby, didn't even do much, and he's one of my most unlikable Ghostface.
Oh yeah, he really is. He was whiny is like the best way to describe him in my opinion.
Yeah.
All right, Craven, what do you got? Your next one after Jason.
Well, it comes down to me. It's real interesting because there's one individual that enjoys to eating lemons.
I'm gonna say I'm surprised that individual wasn't your actual last one.
I figured.
I thought that was gonna be the first person on the board, but I'm surprised.
I thought that might surprise a lot of people. But then you've got Ethan and Quinn. I'm not a big fan of Ethan. Be honest, I'll say that. But I will say one thing. Here's the thing: Amber earned points for me, not because of her, but because Ethan I thought was kind of weak, and as a character, from my personal opinion.
Mm-hmm.
So I believe that Amber has been saved because of Ethan. So I'm putting Ethan next for me.
Okay, wow. Ethan's on the board. I'm cool with that. I think Ethan. And we'll see what I think about Ethan in a little bit.
Yeah.
All right. So for me, my number 12 is actually going to be Miss Ambert. I I only put her above Richie because I think she was a lot more deadly than Richie. I think she did a lot of the
yeah.
work, and she did have a crazy factor that I enjoyed seeing in a Ghostface. I think if that crazy factor would have been in someone with a little better personality, it would have been elevated even more. But I
Mhm.
those two are my least ones. So all right, we're going to go. I like draft style, so now we're going back down the other way. So Steven, you're back up, my friend.
Okay. All right.
Who's your number
Um,
11?
all right. For me next now. Okay. Man, again, I want to say her so bad. It's like,
Are you putting her against Quinn right now?
yes. I'm like,
Here, the only thing I'll say about Quinn to like because I don't want Amber to last. I don't want Amber to crack the top 10.
I don't either.
But the one thing about Quinn, think
Mhm.
about when Sam is trying to pull Tara up, and you
Mhm.
see Quinn run up those stairs, and you
I-
see that like predator look on her face, like
so tight.
So
Yeah.
I'm just saying, you
Scraping the knife, the blood on her teeth. It's an intimidating look. I have to say that.
I'm just gonna throw this up there. Say it, Stephen. Amber.
Say it, say it.
Hey, the fact that she's made it this far on my list is a minor miracle. Honestly.
Did
So-
you know she would before you started this?
Yeah, I had a hunch. You know what? I'm going to go ahead. I'm pulling the trigger on Sourpuss, and we're going to go with Amber. I have to do it. I got to do it.
All right. All right. Craven has spoken. Amber, number 11. All right, Flet. Who's your number 11?
I'm shifting like Craven here too. I didn't really think about that. I also gotta go with Amber.
Okay.
I know she did a lot more better stuff than Richie. I will give her that. Definitely more, but she was so tiny. Some of these kills though.
Yeah, there's
I
a little
could
bit of
not think,
believability
especially to a certain one, which we won't talk about. But
Mhm.
no.
no, not gonna go there. But I do. But I do love the scene though when she says, "Welcome to the third act." When that part,
Her reveal was
her
great.
reveal
When
was great.
yeah,
I love her
she's just
reveal.
she
Yep.
didn't care. Like she was in a room full of people, and she's like, "Okay, we're doing this." Boom.
Yeah,
True.
that's why I have her higher than Richie. Her reveal was better than his.
Oh yeah, for me,
Yeah.
they made the bottom two, but she was significantly better than him. So I can't argue with anyone putting Richie below her. So all right, Marcus, man, what do you got? Who's your number 11?
And y'all took it from me, Amber, man. Like,
So Amber's officially off the board.
yeah, like you guys know, like I don't get me wrong, she did definitely have that craziness to her. But I think because it was so obvious that it was her involved, that took the sting off of it for me. And then, we know she's a liar, so I'll leave it there.
I know. It was something when I first seen her face. I'm like, wait, she's definitely the killer. And
Oh yeah, she has those eyes. She really does.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
All right, for me, my number 11, we're gonna finish someone else off the board here, and that's gonna be Jason. And I will say the only reason I put Jason above those two, excuse me, I know he only had one kill. We didn't get that much time with him, but for me, in that short amount of time we had him and that one kill, he became more memorable than both Amber and Richie.
Hmm.
And he was in the movie what 8-9 minutes. So
Yeah.
I'm like he's one of the best openings in Scream history, and I like him. I like his character more than Amber and Richie. I just did so. I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna put him above. So I'm totally cool with that. But all right, we're cracking top 10 now. So
Wow.
so they got to start getting at least average.
Yes.
All right, Marcus, man, you're up. Who's your number 10?
I mean, I had to put him somewhere, but I definitely do think Scream 6 elevated him a lot more than I thought of him in Scream 5. So I got to put Richie at 10. And I think that Ghostface Shrine, the fact that he has that, and the way that they, set it out, got to give him credit because even Bailey said he did inspire others, so that counts for something. And he basically, in so many ways, laid the groundwork to what we see as could possibly be a Ghostface cult out there. So I got to put Richie at number 10.
All right. I mean, that's fair, man. I can't judge at all. And the shrine, like his tenacity. I'll give him
Bro.
tenacity. So
Yeah.
That shrine was nasty.
it really was. All right, Kyle, what do you got for your number 10?
My number 10 is Ethan. I think to me, I think he was the weakest out of the Bailey to me. And he was just there, and then his character wasn't likable to me, and I just didn't really enjoy his performance that much. And there's something with the character. I think he was the weakest out of the Bailey's reveals. So just,
I mean, that's fair. I think a lot of people agree with you there. All right, buddy. Steven, who do you got as your number 10?
Well, it's one of the Baileys. It's either going to be Quinn or Detective. What's his first name? Wayne?
Wayne, yeah.
Yeah. It's either Wayne or Quinn for me. I mean, Wayne does have mess with my family. You die. He's got the Batman voice, and that's something.
Dude, I thought that was some of the worst acting in the whole franchise.
where are they?
He's like, you mess with my family, you die.
You die. There it is. I had to get deeper. You die.
With the family.
Oh my goodness.
Christian Bale has checked into the Scream chat.
Right.
Yes. I mean, I'll give him props for the Dark Knight credit. But Quinn, I think, ranks. Well, I'll get to Quinn. Well, actually, believe it or not, I think she ranks higher. Believe it or not.
I got Quinn a little higher. I think it'll be people be surprised where I have Quinn.
Yeah, I've got her higher too. I'm going to go ahead and throw Wayne Bailey at my next spot.
Wayne Bailey coming in top 10 for move. You move over. Perfect. All right. So I respect that. I respect the hell out of that. Because for me, Wayne Bailey is also going to be my number 10.
Nice.
I think he was honestly my least favorite of the three main Ghostfaces from 6. The acting he did, that one line you're talking about, you mess with my family, you die. I was like, that is so bad.
So bad. Trying too hard.
He and don't forget the fake tears.
Yeah, it was.
That kicked it off for me, man. As soon as I saw that, I just waved my hand up. I said, there we go.
Man, it didn't even take that long for me because they promoted it. In advertising, we knew that Quinn was the daughter of Bailey. Of Bailey, and then as soon as she told Tara on that bed, spoiler alert, people, just in case, it's been out for a while, but just in case. When she told Tara, after my brother died and I moved here, my dad followed me. I'm like, oh, there it is. Brother died.
Me too, Eric.
These are the two.
Same.
So for me, Bailey was a little obvious. Quinn was very obvious, but I'm not blaming that on their characters. That's writing. So
True.
Okay. All right. Continuing with the draft format. Craven, what do you got as your number 9?
Boy, things are getting real interesting now.
Right? Now it's like, are they really better than this person?
Mm-hmm. I think I have to go with Quinn now. It's time for her to come up. Yep.
All right.
I think that's where she belongs for me at number 9. I did like her in the third. I honestly liked her in every scene.
Same.
I wish they would have switched out Ethan for Quinn,
Mhm.
and let Ethan be the fake death and disappear for the movie, and let Quinn be in the movie the whole time, because she was really good. I enjoyed her, and so, but they didn't do that. That's how they wrote it. But there's not a scene with her that I was like, oh, I don't like her. I liked all of her scenes, and when she went crazy in that third act, she was loving it. She was reveling in it, and
Mhm.
I really enjoyed her a lot. So I'm gonna, I'll put her at 9.
All right.
And real
All
quick,
right.
Steven, that you say that, it
Mhm.
may have been a lot more believable if they would have switched Ethan out, you know what I mean,
Yeah.
with Quinn, especially for the Gale scene. Even though he's a
Oh,
younger guy,
yeah,
he is, pretty tall. He's got some height to him. You know what I mean? That would have been a lot more
right,
believable for that scene.
true. Yep. Of
Yeah,
course, Stu would have done it either way, so I guess it doesn't matter.
Oh yeah, 100%.
so I'm noticing something here, and I want everyone. I'm just going to point it out here because I'm noticing with Russell and myself, and I think most of us so far, the Kirsch slash Bailey slash Landry family, they're all pretty closely ranked,
Yeah.
and I
Okay.
feel like if you take that family, the 3 members who are, I guess you have 4 members of that family, but even with 4 members of that family versus the 3 members of the Loomis family, Sam, Billy, and I think the 3 members of the Loomis family would just wipe the floor with the Baileys.
I agree.
Oh,
Oh
you're,
yeah.
Oh, could you imagine? Could you
oh,
imagine
Yeah,
just an
man.
all-out fight? You got Nancy
I
Loomis,
can
Billy
imagine that.
Loomis, and Sam
oh my
versus
gosh.
I mean, we have to keep in mind the mother is still out there.
Mother is that
Yeah.
that I'm telling you, they should have used
Yeah.
that
They
unused
should've.
story beat. They should have used that
should
unused
have.
story thing because that would have given a whole new layer to this thing.
Yep.
But just want to point out Russell's throwing Ethan and Quinn out there for his 10 and 9, and that's why I was saying I was like we all do keep them very similar, and even me, you haven't seen most of them from me yet, but they're pretty close. But all right, Kyle, buddy, what's your number 9?
Wayne. The acting was bad. The writing was off the rails. I didn't like his reveal. I think when it comes to revenge of the parents, I think Debbie Salt was more written better for that and had a better reveal. So
Oh yeah, I think it was very obvious that he was the Debbie Salt stand-in.
yeah. And Laurie
Um,
Metcalf is amazing actress.
Oh yeah, she did so good.
Yeah.
All right, Marcus, what do you got as your number 9, buddy?
Same Bailey. Like Flet said, the acting wasn't that great. I will say the final act, the way he did act, kind of grew on me. I think just because it's humorous. But I mean, I've said before. I had him ranked a little bit higher, and I thought that he did the majority of the work in 6. But that has now changed. I just think that he kind of stood back and put everything in place at the crime scenes, and then all that stuff, and made everything right with the shrine. So I got to put him at number 9 for me.
That's fair. I think that's a good spot for him. I just want to point out here Sarah's comment. For me, the quality of the killers dropped dramatically after 3, maybe with the exception of Chill. I think I would agree with that, and I think once we get to the top of the list, you'll notice that those first 3 movies, pretty much all the killers from those movies will be ranked higher. I'm that's an assumption. I
Right.
know what they say about assuming, but we'll see how it goes.
Right.
I just want to say what's up to Mayanne jumping in.
What's up, man?
Hey, thanks for stopping by. Oh, look who else is jumping in.
Oh,
We got
Polar.
Hey.
Polar.
Bye-bye. Polar.
Yeah, we're I think we're about halfway in right now. Maybe not halfway. We're moving through it. We're having a good time.
Close to it, yeah.
Yeah, the lists are already different. Except, I think all 3 of y'all have Amber in the same place, but everything else is different. So,
True.
for me, next up, because I have my number 9 is actually Ethan, because he was I liked him more than Bailey, and it's really weird because throughout the movie his character was like, I don't know, kind of whiny, but after like post reveal, I thought he was great. Like he was smiling and like I feel like he was maybe having on he had to try to act sane during the normal times, and like his real self is the one we got to see in the finale. And
Yeah.
I love that one. Like when Tara falls down and he catches her and stabs her in the stomach, and he yells, "Gotcha!" There's just a look in his eye, like, oh my god, it's great. Oh, someone, we got to knock at the door here, but
Oh.
yeah, we might have to. All right, 1 second here. Let's go ahead and before we move on, we're gonna have to do something. It's gonna be interesting. I'll see if I can make it seamless.
Oh boy.
Uh-oh.
We're gonna go ahead and bring on a buddy. You all know him. You all love him. We got Destin from Destination Station.
There he is.
What's up, everybody?
What's up,
Hey, man.
Justin?
I'm
Hey,
always
buddy.
late to the party. I'm sorry, man.
Oh no, you're good. I am gonna have to do something, so I'm gonna take a second here to rearrange some stuff backstage to make sure we can all fit in.
Sure.
While I do that, do you all have anything you want to promote on your channels?
I'll go first. So on Saturday the 17th at 4:30 p.m. my time, gonna be interviewing Lisa Wilcox, who was Alice in Nightmare on Elm Street 4 and 5. So,
Nice.
Nice.
Love that, dude.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
thank you.
Moving down the list, you got anything, Marcus?
I'll say right now, I mean, just some more episodes of the podcast. I'm actually rolling through the scrum, trying to, see what articles out there with interesting ones, that I could talk about and stuff. I will promote this. Me and Destin are starting our own joint horror podcast together titled Horror Hooligans. So I definitely do want to plug
Yeah.
that because I can't wait to dig into it with Destin. It's going to be a lot of fun. I can't wait for it to, all get started.
Ooh.
Yeah, you've mentioned that, and I'm super excited to see how it turns out.
Oh, yeah,
Mhm.
me too.
Yeah. For me, I have a couple things I'll mention. This Tuesday, a couple of days from now, at 6 p.m. Central, I'll be hosting Lee Waddell, the OG Ghostface, for Scream 1. He's going to be coming on the channel live for 1 hour to hang out with the community. So please come and hang out with us, guys. I'll be asking him questions about how it feels to kill Drew Barrymore and or Casey Becker. And we're going to talk about Scream and the whole experience. And he's worked on like 6 or 7 Wes Craven films, so I have a lot of questions ready for some of those movies also. And you'll have a chance to ask your questions to Lee Waddell. And then 2 days later, on Thursday, you'll have the opportunity to watch Scream 6 at 6:30 p.m. Central at 7:30 Eastern with Michelle Laliberte, the production designer for Scream 6, is coming back, and we're watching the movie, guys. She's
That's
watching it
awesome.
with us live. That's going to be crazy, watching it with her. She's going to be able to talk about all the scenes and the sets as we're watching the movie. So I'm just telling you right now, it's going to be a treasure chest of information. And if you can make plans to be there live, I would encourage you to come at 6:30 at 7:30 Eastern on Thursday. Of course, the replay's there for you too. But anyway, if you can make it live, it'll be amazing. And you can submit questions throughout the show, and she'll answer those as well. So
Nice.
that's what I got. This is going to be a busy week.
Awesome. Congrats on that.
Love it.
Oh.
Love it.
I got to get that clip, man. I don't have it, or I'd play it.
Dude, I got, you know what? I'm going to email myself right now a reminder to do that.
And real quick, now we're plugging stuff in. I am waiting on an email, and I'm fingers crossed that they respond back to me. But I got a hold of, I didn't get a hold of him yet. I'm waiting for an email. But I reached out to Dane Farwell's management team.
Yeah.
Dane Farwell did Stuntman. He played Ghostface in Scream 4.
That's right.
Awesome.
So
Yep.
I'm so hoping that I can get him on the channel. It would be really interesting to have a conversation with him. It would be a lot of fun.
Dude, he's on my list, man, because I'm going through, I'm trying to get every Ghostface on my channel,
Right.
right? So I've gotten one, one on Tuesday, Lee Waddell. Alan Robinson was Ghostface for Scream 2. And I did Max on Friday for 6. So all I need is 3, 4, and 5. And so I've got Dane on my list. So that's awesome. Best of luck for you, man. I hope that works out for
I
you.
hope so too, man. Like I
Yeah.
said, y'all know this. Like Scream 4 has kind of secretly become like my baby here over the last few months. So
Oh, yeah.
I
I love it.
definitely would be interested to talk to him and his experiences and just how it was playing Ghostface. Especially portraying two killers who a lot of people deemed undersized and not believable and stuff like that. So it's going to be interesting.
Oh, yeah. It's awesome, man.
Oh yeah, I might as well say so. Coming up very, very soon, I will be ranking all the seasons of the American Horror Story, but I'm not doing it alone. I'm actually bringing Naomi Grossman, who played Pepper in American Horror Story,
Ooh.
Asylum, and
Dude,
Freak Show.
I
So,
love her.
wow.
She's so cool.
Oh.
She's
Yeah.
great. That's a good get, man.
Thank
That's
you.
great.
The rank the seasons was actually with someone that's been part of the show. That's awesome.
That is.
All right, y'all. I'm almost done getting this all set up. Sorry, I'm just moving
you're
stuff
good, bud.
over.
And real quick, Steven, real quick, when you were interviewing Max and I asked that question, I had to go back and rewatch the stream, buddy. But I caught your reaction, and I felt it through the screen all the way. Because literally, when he said what he said, Steven, I was working. As soon as he said it, I was like, "Let's go!"
Yes, dude. When he said, "Oh no, yeah, they directed me to do that," I'm like, dude. I was like, yes, yes.
Yep.
And your question was so. It was the way you worded it was so. It was you were digging, and I knew it, and I
Yeah,
knew
man.
immediately what you were digging for. I completely, and
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I teetered on it because I'm like, man, how do I want to word this without it getting too spoily or revealing anything? Not that he would, you know what I mean?
yeah,
But I want to word it properly, and then that's how it came out. And I'm like, okay, that's perfect. Like,
yes, dude. There's something there, guys. I'm telling you right now. And if you're watching this right now and you're not sure what we're talking about, Marcus submitted a question to Max, who was Ghostface in Scream 6 on Friday, basically asking him when you were going to stab Gail, when you had both hands on the knife over your head, was that something that your radio silence directed you to do, or is that something you created on your own? And of course, we're fishing. He was fishing here because if the radio silence is directing that, because that's one of Stu's signature moves, and he said, yeah, I was. They directed me to do that specifically, to have both hands on the knife over my head. I'm like, oh my gosh, dude! I wish I could have seen you, Marcus, because I was jumping up inside, like, oh my gosh.
bro, I know, because like I said, when I went back and rewatched that scene and that part in this live stream, you just like clenched your fist and you just like you wanted to let it out, but you held it in. It was so great.
I wanted to just like go crazy, but I didn't, and it was so hard.
I know, man.
Oh my gosh! And I love Polar's comment. She says, "I don't think he realizes what he was divulging to us." Sneaky.
Yeah.
That's
Well,
right.
see, I think he did. I think he did though, because remember he said he did hear that theory, and
That's
even
right.
he agreed. He agreed. I mean, you never get confirmation that he's really dead.
That's Zach. He sure did say that. That's right. But the Ghost Max said, yeah, he said he's heard the stew is alive theories, and he said the same thing basically that Alan said. There's no confirmation. You don't see the dead body. There's not, and dude, it's amazing to see these guys that are in these movies that are on board with the stew theories, man. It's like, and especially in like Alan, which I didn't know when I started that interview. I had no idea Alan was Matthew Lillard's stunt double. I only
I
thought he was
watched
in
that video,
two.
bro, and that was crazy. When he said that, I
Oh,
was like, wow, this was so meant for Steven right now. Like,
it
that was
was.
perfect.
It was, dude. I was literally like about to come unglued. I had no idea. It's like, oh yeah, the scene where I'm running after Sydney, and we tumble over the couch, and the TV falls on me. That's me catching the television. That was him. And when I asked that question, do you think Stu could have survived? And he says, to answer your question, it's likely. And he said, he could, that could have momentarily stopped him, and then he could have rose up again like
Right.
Timothy Oliphant did in Scream 2. And I'm telling you, man, it's just so cool to see these guys that are like, I mean, I'm like, you were there, you were on set, you literally caught the television. And so
Right.
you were there. But yeah, that was a great question, Marcus. Thank you for that. That was like
Oh, yeah, absolutely, friend.
maybe my favorite question of the night because it gave us some insight that that's another potential clue
Yep.
to intentional movement by radio silence pointing to Stu Macher.
Right. And real quickly, he did say, like, they told him, Radio Silence told him it was for the legacy of Ghostface or whatnot, basically paying homage to all, I guess, the characters who played Ghostface. And where
Yes.
I kind of, go against that is if you really wanted to do that, you would have did that in 5, being that was your legacy requel,
Yeah.
True.
so
Yep.
definitely another Easter egg for Stu, buddy.
Yes, sir.
All
Awesome.
right, y'all. Anything else y'all want to plug? I
Let's
think I've
go.
got this. I think I
Destin,
got
did
this
you have a
taken care
chance
of.
to say anything, buddy, about plugging anything? Or
Oh,
I don't think you went yet.
Uh-oh, did something
that's
happen?
me. Yeah, I graduated from Harvard, and I've seen The Exorcist about 167 times, and it just
Dude,
keeps getting
getting
funnier
funnier
every single time I see it. Not to mention that you're talking to a dead guy.
Oh, dang.
I don't
All
think
right,
they
I'm
would
going to
have
take that as a
anything.
no.
I think,
Okay.
I
I
think we're
don't.
safe
Except
there.
for what me and Marcus is working on with
Yeah.
Horror
the Horror
Hooligans.
Hooligans podcast that's coming up, and I'm actually pretty much finished with my script, and I'm really looking to get it a feature length. I had it as a short film to begin with, but I've written it into a feature length, and I'm going to be looking in the Dallas area for people to be a part of that and try to put it
Wow.
to screen. Yeah,
I'd love to be a part of it, man.
yeah, man. Yeah.
I'm just saying, I'll fly back out to Texas.
Yeah, I was about to say I'll drive
Hey.
down there.
No, yeah,
Wow.
and it's a whodunit. So,
Nice.
mhm,
Love that.
yep.
Now, Destin, listen, man, all the theories you and I have talked about over the last 2 years with Scream, my expectations, my friend, are very high for your whodunit. I mean, I want to see some really like mind-blowing stuff here, buddy.
Okay,
On this twist and turns.
okay. I've
So
changed
Dustin,
the
real quick,
ending.
is it for shots?
It is for shots, and I've changed the ending. I've changed
Oh,
it.
bro, I'm
I've
not going to
changed.
say nothing. All I know is that I've heard the concept. It sounds it sounds fantastic.
Yeah,
Mm.
Like
Yeah.
it sounds amazing.
and what's crazy is I'm actually I mean it's not like confirmed or anything like that, but there's this guy that my friend knows. He works in the building that he's living at, and it's such a small world because I went to a screening of Clerks 3 with Kevin Smith, and there was a guy at the front of the audience that actually got to talk to Kevin Smith and give him his film. Kevin Smith flew him out to New York, him and his family, and did like a red carpet premiere for his film. And just so happened that this guy is really close to one of my buddies now. And like my friend's trying to like introduce me to him, and maybe we can put some stuff together in the future. But it's just a
Nice.
small world that he was the one, because we were in the audience when that happened to him. So it was kind of like, it was like, dude, we saw everything, all of that. Like that's super cool. That's like Kevin Smith, like helping you show your product and all that. Like, so I don't know.
Nice.
I hope I hope it gets done. I hope it gets done and it's done well. So I hope we get some good actors because it's very dialogue heavy.
Oh, bro, I'll audition for it. I'm an amazing actor.
Okay.
I actually did study acting for 4 years, so
Hey.
Can you cut the beard?
I will for acting.
I'm
roles.
just kidding. I'm kidding.
Oh no,
I'm kidding.
I'm not, dude. I'm not kidding.
How much
It's
do
on
you
my
want
resume.
this?
It's on my resume in very tiny letters. Will shave for a role if required.
Just the beard or everything?
Everything, bro. I'll bathe in there if I gotta.
All right.
Taking laser surgery.
Oh,
Oh,
there's a hair removal.
All right,
It's gonna
y'all.
put that scene on 40-year-old
Oh,
version
my.
where we're like just waxing you.
Oh no.
Oh my
All right.
Oh,
All right, Destin, you got to do a speed run. We're already from 13 to 9, so we got to get your bottom 5 ghost faces.
Oh, bottom 5 ghost faces.
rapid fire.
Yeah, rapid fire. So who's your least favorite ghost face?
My least favorite. Okay, who am I working with?
These
I
are all
know
13
who I'm working with.
Yeah. All
Oh, so
13
y'all are
confirmed.
adding Jason to it, and
So only Jason. I'll give you the quick rundown. You have to have killed someone in costume,
Okay.
made a phone call, and not been a protagonist of the movie.
okay. And how many? I'm picking 5.
Yeah. So we've
Least
already
to
got our
worst,
5
least
up
to
here.
best, or best.
We're
to
going
least?
least to best, like least favorite to most favorite. So, who's your least
Okay.
favorite?
Let's see. So are you're adding Greg? I see Greg up here.
Well, so Greg, if you notice, that's the dishonorable mentions. Those are ones that didn't quite make the cut for Ghostfaces, but they still are worth talking about in the Ghostface conversation. So we got
Okay.
Angelina. She was never confirmed, but we all think it. Kirby's real sus. Greg would have been. He just didn't live long enough.
Right.
And then Danny, a lot of suspicion around him. So that's its own separate column from yeah. So you got your they're
least
all
to
in
worst.
alphabetical. Yeah, least to worst. So who's your
I'm about to rock your world,
go for it? Least favorite Ghostface.
Charlie. I already heard
Wow.
Marcus.
And Marcus is like, okay, just like that.
Call 911.
Horror hooligans is canceled.
Oh man!
Wow.
Wow, that's right, Steven. Wow, wow.
Spicy
Wow.
biscuit.
Wow.
Wow.
Oh man, that definitely knocked the wind out of me.
I'm sorry, it stung a little bit.
All right.
All right, who's next? Who's your number 12?
I'm gonna have to go with, even though that I thought it was really cool, it just wasn't as impactful because it's not like a full-on ghost face. That it would. Yep, you already got it on there, Jason.
Mm-hmm.
And that's not like a knock, because if he had more of a character throughout, I probably would have ranked him higher. But we didn't live with him very long. It was a one and done.
That's fair. I think that's why he's in the bottom 3 to 4 for everyone.
Yeah. Next would have to be. Ooh. It's gonna have to go Amber.
Ambert.
Yeah. Yeah. Amber's just. I felt like she thought she was in a different movie by the end of that movie. Like, I was like, it changed the tone. It's like, wait a minute. Like tone it down. Easy, Seabiscuit. All right. Sorry.
Oh no, you're good. I just took a drink of water and I hear Seabiscuit.
All right.
Taste the biscuit.
Taste the goodness of the biscuit.
I got 2 more,
Bring
and
that
I'm
honey
struggling
sauce.
here. I'm really, really struggling here because on a different day it might be different.
Dude, that's so true. I was telling everyone backstage, like the bottom 3 and the top 3 are usually pretty easy, but everything in the middle, you're like,
are we judging these as characters throughout the movie, or are we judging them when they were revealed?
I'm going whole movie. Like,
Yeah, same here.
yeah, like because that's the thing. A lot of people complain about their complaints about Charlie, for instance. They complain about his character post or like prior to the reveal, like being kind of a. I think this term was used. Marcus, it's not my term. I've just heard it
I
thrown
know.
around. A simp,
Yep.
and he just wasn't very. But the kills as Ghostface were brutal. Like he did great work. But you got to balance them out, man.
Yeah, I'm just thinking about their performance all the way, and then the reveal of them. You know, like, is it shocking or is it not? How impactful is it? And I have to put Ethan there.
Okay, going Ethan next.
Yep.
Where is Ethan?
Right there in
There
the
he
middle.
is. I was like, man,
Yep.
I don't see Ethan. I see your comment there. Polar, give me 1 second. I'll see if I can come up with something. Maybe.
Well, I was just suggesting maybe if you watch it full screen, it really does pop a lot more.
So
For me, anyway.
how do we do it full screen?
So like if you it's the bottom right, it's the very last little. If you put your mouse over where the volume knob is,
Oh, gotcha. So
and go to the far right, it says full screen, and it blows it up.
Yeah, that's what it did for me too.
Yeah,
gotcha.
that way that's how I'm watching it now. I can read it all really well.
So I could do that, but then you can't see us.
Well, no, I would go back to the other view for us, but every user can do that for their own view.
Yeah. I don't think the people watching the video can though on YouTube because they're
Yeah, they can. All they got to
Yeah.
do is click the full
Yeah.
screen option on the right, and it blows right up.
That's what I'm doing it right now on another window. Yeah. You can click that to see it, and then click it again to go back to the live chat to type a note.
Gotcha. Let's see here. I think we're gonna stick with this for now, just because I don't want to take a chance on messing it up while we're moving. But I see what you're saying, Polar. I'm gonna try something a little later for the next stream. But for now, Destin, we got one more. Who's your number 9?
All right. And this is based off of their performance once they're revealed. Because I think that, like, overall, like, it is a good reveal. I just think it just cuts it in half 50% after they're revealed just because of their acting. And it felt like they were in another... they didn't feel like they were in the movie that they thought they were in. Like, it wasn't taken serious like the rest of the film was. And that's going to have to be Bailey.
I called it. I just called it. I knew it.
Yeah, that's man, you're not alone in that one. We've all had a little bit of problem with Detective Bailey. So,
and you know what? It had potential to be great if he just would have played it differently in that ending.
Toned it down, right, Destin?
If he was even a Nancy.
Yeah.
If he just played it serious and mean,
right.
He just felt it got a little
comical, right?
Yeah, and I don't know,
clownish almost like a
yeah.
He's like I'm like, what is he laughing? What is this?
It's like you just totally changed the tone of the entire film. Like,
true.
You just lost the tension.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Of course, it's me.
I actually
exactly.
What was that?
I actually really love that line. Of course, it's me. I really love that line because I thought it was super obvious. Like, I thought the movie made it super obvious it was him. And when he was revealed, they're like, you? He's like, of course it's me. Like, I thought he was saying that as in, like, this has been super obvious. Like, you should have known this. Like, he's just like, of course me.
Honestly, like, I watched it with my wife, and she was surprised.
Huh, I was not.
I really wasn't. I really wasn't either, but it could have went either way. That's fine. It can be obvious. Just play it differently. Just
Yeah.
take
Yeah.
it serious.
By the way, Polar, I don't know if you can see it a little better now. I zoomed in on the actual web page. I zoomed in, so it should it. I checked it on YouTube as well. It is a bit bigger now, so it should be a little easier to see. All right, so now we're all caught up. So we're gonna go top to bottom again. Now, Steven, you're up, buddy. Who you got as your number 8? It's getting difficult.
Yeah, this is gonna get real tricky now. I'm gonna. Wow. All right, I'm gonna have to. I'm looking at my list of who I've already picked to make sure I don't. Yeah, I think for number 8, this is finally the slot where Roman's gonna fit. I mean, I'm sorry, Richie's gonna fit in.
I was about to say you're going Roman this far
Oh,
down, man. I was like,
no.
what?
I mean, someone needs to check my pulse, my temperature, full vital
We
signs.
need to make sure you're fully better here.
Yes,
Yeah.
I was about to say. I think we need to get someone. I think we get someone to check on you.
Check on those meds I took. Yeah, Richie. This is the right spot for me for Richie because, and I won't go too long on the point for the sake of time, but I liked Richie's character. Yeah, he was a man baby. I'll never forget that phrase from this point forward. But I love Jack Quaid. I think he's a great actor, and he was my favorite actor of the new characters after Jenna Ortega when I first saw the movie. So I enjoyed his character from beginning to end. And yeah, so I think for me, I think this is where I feel he fits in the list.
All right. I mean, that's fair. That's fair. Destin, who you got at number 8?
It's gonna. I'm struggling here, but I'm gonna pick Quinn.
Okay, Quinn's a good pick. I think Quinn did a lot of good work, acting wise in the finale. Like
Yeah. I think she was gone too soon. I felt like it was rushed a little bit, and just the way that played out, it was a little too fast and furious for me. It just kind of got a little like it takes you out of the movie a little bit. It's like, oh yeah, we're not in we're in not a serious movie right now. That was the feeling I got.
Okay.
Even though that like I liked her reveal and everything, and she was a cool character. Yeah, this is where she lands for me.
That's cool. That's cool. All right, Kyle, who do you got? Number 8.
8. Mine's also Quinn. I loved her character. Love her reveal. Love how she went crazy at the end. She was just awesome, and then she definitely went out in quite the way I loved it. So, number 8.
Yeah, there was no question on her going out of this world.
No.
Leave no chances.
Nope.
All right, Marcus, what about you? Who got a number 8?
I know this is probably going to surprise some, but I have Ethan at number 8. And the reason why I have Ethan at number 8 is because me personally, after rewatching Scream 6 and certain scenes, I think Ethan did the majority of the work. That's me. And from that perspective, when I look how tenacious Ghostface was in that movie, you can argue not as tenacious as Charlie in 4, but maybe a more low budget scale of that. I'd have to give him number 8. And I'll say this. I think if they would have kept that scene of him and Bailey killing the mother, I think a lot of people would have a different perspective on Ethan as a killer, because the one thing that I saw about that whole thing is that Quinn didn't want to do it. So I think when you compare in terms of in terms of being a psycho, I think you can kind of lean towards Ethan, because I feel like he went this route because he had something to prove to Bailey, because Bailey cherished Richie so much. So that's why I think he put in most of the work in Scream 6.
That's fair, man. I think he's a little underrated as well. I mean, we see you're the highest ranking. Like you have him ranked the highest out of any of us. I think he is, but there's potential there because we really don't know like what was
True.
going on.
That is true.
Yeah.
But for me, I've got my number 8 is going to be finally clearing her off the board. Is Quinn, and honestly, it's because of that. It's because of that. The photo I chose for her. I actually went back. I watched the movie frame by frame to get that photo of her, like that photo right there, because she
I
is.
love it.
Yeah, I love
Bro,
it.
she is so terrifying
She
right
could
there.
play
Dude.
a remake of like Exorcist, like Reagan.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
agree.
Wow.
I hate that
And,
the
and-
photo
and that's
is
one
so-
thing I want to point out here since we're talking about this. She was the only one that was taking this ending seriously. Ethan and Bailey were just laughing and being goofy and over the top. She was still trying to be menacing.
Yeah.
I don't
She
think she was
was
trying.
menacing.
Yeah, I was about to say she wasn't trying. She was.
Yeah.
She was menacing, bro.
Right. She had
was-
the hate and the evil
Yeah.
in her eyes. Like,
Yeah. She really was.
She really. She was not scared. She didn't seem like she was scared of anything. Like
Like she was like literally PO ticked off, whatever phrase that Richie was, they killed Richie. And she was there for vengeance.
And like there was actual emotion in her eyes too.
Yes.
Like when she like she said like she said something something she said a cuss word, you killed our brother, and like she
Mhm.
looked like she was on the verge of tears. Like she was there
Yeah.
for a reason. Like it's still not a good reason, but you could tell she was there. I just wanted to pull there's the full image at high.
Yeah,
like,
that's such a
Oh,
good
man.
Yeah.
like
I would have
Dude, can you send that
more.
to me, Eric, if you wouldn't mind?
yeah, I can email it to you, but man, just that
See,
oh
Oh.
dude, she
and that's what I'm saying. That's why I hate having her like last on my list, is because we really don't know if she did do really much of the killing or anything. And I just feel like there was so much potential that we did not get to see. You know,
That's
like
true.
and then that's why it bothers me, because of that shot right there. I full-heartedly agree. Like, that's a menacing shot. Like that's fitting for a Ghostface killer. She should have had more work.
Yeah.
Well, she did. I mean, well, two things I'm going to say real quick.
Yeah.
I as much as I hate to take credit away from someone, I won't accept the fact that she attacked Gail. I just don't.
Great.
That's just me personally. But number two, though, I do give her full credit for attacking Mindy in the subway.
Yeah.
When-
I feel
that's
Yeah.
that is Quinn.
Yeah,
And-
that definitely is.
Yeah, that one we can at least know and I thought for just a second, and I kind of hoped she would have pulled the job off all the way,
Right.
with Mindy, but she did do that one, and Ethan was watching his sister, and you noticed how they tried to throw the red herring on. I'm not red herring. They made Ethan look at Mindy with that menacing look.
Mm-hmm.
How he was it turned from like a friendly look to this
Mhm.
just stare. And I know he was anticipating his sister attacking her, I believe. And anyway, so Quinn, we know at least Quinn did the subway attack. And I don't know what else she did, though, outside of that.
I have a
Right.
question.
yeah.
How would y'all feel if by the ending, if what happened to Quinn, just the quick shot to the head, she's down and out? What if that happened to Bailey and then the big showdown with Sam and her?
Oh, I would have loved that.
Oh,
I think that
wow.
would
Because they were
great.
roommates. That was the one that
Huh?
got closest to her.
And
Awesome.
I think Quinn, with the look that Quinn had on her face, like Quinn was out for blood. Bailey
Yes.
was like toying with people, whatever.
Mhm.
Quinn could care. Like you saw Bailey. Bailey had every opportunity to kill Sam, but he wanted her to put the mask on. So whatever. This rich Quinn could give a shit less. Quinn's like, I'm coming at you with this knife, and if I get to you, you're not going to be breathing anymore.
Yeah, that would have been an ultimate fight.
Oh, that would have been a
showdown right
much
there.
better fight, in
Yeah.
my opinion. In my
Yeah.
opinion, but
I
Yeah,
agree.
by the way, I emailed that to you, Steven.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, when I like looked, I just went and Googled to get these photos, right? And I'm like, let me
Yeah.
pull up the photos I want. I couldn't find any good ones of Quinn as Ghostface or Ethan as Ghostface. So I'm like, I'm just gonna like pull up the movie because I knew I had that shot in mind. I'm like,
So good.
like she looks terrifying
Well,
there. And it was the same thing with Ethan. I wanted the like this is right after he pulls the mask off. He's
mhm.
like, oh, you thought.
Yeah.
So
Because
yeah,
well, because since you're saying that, because you know how Roman and Sydney beat the heck out of each other, because you would imagine, Quinn and Sam fighting, how brutal and
oh
bloodbath
yeah,
that would have been, beat the heck out of each other. So
yeah. That's the thing.
No
Like
weapons, just fist to fist.
yeah,
And Bailey didn't get anything in on Sam. The only injury Sam actually got was from Quinn. Quinn jumped out and slashed her with the
No,
knife. Right?
that
Oh,
was
that was
Yeah.
Ethan. You're right. That was Ethan.
Ethan.
That's the only thing.
But
that
I think
ever
it would have been
happened.
so cool if, like, say Tara's down and out, and Sam and Quinn are going at it, and Quinn's almost got the upper hand, but like Sam, like Tara comes in, stabs her from the back, and then Sam stabs her from the front, and it's like the two sisters take her out together.
kind of
Like,
like what they did to Chad in the hallway scene type
Pretty
thing.
yeah,
much.
it's like,
Yeah.
but the sisters are like
Yeah.
double teaming the ghost face. Yeah.
That would have been a good one,
Let me write one of these movies, damn it.
bro. Dude, you and I got. All right.
there you go.
Let's get back into this ranking here. So if we're going draft style, Marcus, you're up next. Who you got at number 7?
Mickey Altieri.
Bro, you got Nicky Altieri so low?
Whoa,
Hey.
bro.
And I know my list is gonna, probably irk and shock some people, but I have my reasons. And it's not that Mickey was a bad character or a bad ghost face. I just feel like as somebody who was already a serial killer, like, how did you get played by Mrs. Loomis like that? Like, you should have, like, I just feel like your serial killer instincts should have been a lot better than that, especially coming from where she's coming from, wanting revenge for her son. Like, I would think, like, you would have to think, like, okay, yeah, it's cool to have a partner or whatever, but at the same time, she's in it for herself. As opposed to Charlie and Jill, Charlie had no idea that Jill was going to go rogue like that. So, and I'm not saying Mickey did on Mrs. Loomis, but that's just me. You know what I mean? And like I said, he was a good ghost face. You know what I mean? But, Sydney gave him the business. So
Sydney did. Okay,
gave
Steven,
him the
I see
business.
your hand raised.
I'm inspired by Eric. I had to do it. I'm inspired. I just one comment I will say in defense of Mickey, is that
It
while
froze real quick.
I don't
Okay.
disagree. Oh, you there, Marcus? Okay.
Yeah, I'm there.
Just one quick thing. I don't disagree with what you said, but I will say this one thing to keep in mind. He is probably 20 years old. He's still
That is true.
he's still a kid. So, while he's not going to have
looks 30.
Yeah, well,
I'm just
but in the movie, he's a 20-year-old college kid, so he's not going to have that necessarily have that wisdom to think that far ahead, that smart, those kind of skills of thinking, critical thinking skills. That's the only that's the only thing I would say about, just to defend him a little bit.
Okay.
That's all. Just want to throw it out there.
I feel like, yeah, and I will point out too that most, if serial killers, they don't establish their patterns and stuff and their style until like their mid 20s. So I'm just gonna, that's just adding on to what Steven said. But I do get it. He did get played and he allowed himself to be played. But
He did.
the one thing that I come back to, and it doesn't have to do with what Steven said really, but I feel like he might have came from like a broken home or something, because the reason he said he went to do it, what does he say? He said college was expensive, so that kind of immediately says like parents weren't paying for his college, so maybe something like that. And if she's a mother figure to him, I mean, he'd be able to do what she wanted. But we don't got to defend. We don't got to defend Mickey. If that's where
No.
you
I think
want him,
they
man,
had
that's where he's going to go.
relations
Oh, yeah.
together.
Totally.
No, I
Oh,
don't blame
no.
you for defending him though, because he is a great Ghostface. Like he's a great character too. I love Timothy Oliphant. I
Yeah.
just feel like just certain things kind of, for me, holds him back from being higher than maybe what many others have him.
That's fair. That's
Gotcha.
fair. All right, Flet, who you got it? You're number 7.
Mine's Charlie.
Charlie. Okay.
Yeah,
I think.
that would be a shot 6 times over here.
Oh no, that's a good spot, brother. Hey, I'm not
Yeah.
mad at you.
Oh no, I was about to
I'm
say.
only bugging you. Just bugging
I
you.
think Charlie's going to show up a little higher on some lists as well. So
Yeah.
Hey,
So
man.
my number 7 is Charlie. I think his kills are brutal, especially Olivia's kill. That's definitely one of my favorite sequences of the movie. And just depends who also killed his. I think was it also him that killed Sydney's publicist? Because I also love that sequence.
I want to say, yeah, I think it was him who threw her off the roof, right, Marcus?
Who, Charlie?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would assume so, because I think wasn't that the scene Jill was getting her arm taped up in the hospital?
I think it was. Yeah. That was
Yeah.
after the attack. So yeah, that had
Yeah.
to be Charlie.
Yeah, I'd love his kills were brutal, but to me, what ticks me off is how he handles Kirby, just because she didn't notice him.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was a little bit of a scorned little boy.
Scoring little boy, I'm like, grow up. And then how he just goes down easy. He goes down easy.
I was like, grow up. It's like I'll accept murder, but being scorned.
Yeah, I'll say that.
You notice me now? It's too late.
Oh, and then Jill.
All right.
What, Jill? Yeah, that's my number 7. So.
Okay. Destin, who you got at number 7, buddy?
All right, I have my number 7, but I'm looking at my list. Am I able to change?
Go ahead, man. Let me know who's going.
I
last.
want Amber and Ethan to trade spots.
Like that.
There you go. Yep.
All right, cool.
Yep. That's good. All right. I've been like focusing on that. I know y'all been talking and stuff. But I'm like, am I right? What I'm thinking here?
Hey, bro, there is no right
okay.
answer. It's how you feel about them.
No, I know. But you made me do a rush round. You were like fast tracking me.
I was trying to get us all called
I
up
know.
and even
I
here.
know. Nancy.
You're going. Wow, you're going
Wow.
Miss Loomis solo.
Yeah, I'm
That's-
going Mrs. Loomis.
Okay, that's a surprising spot for her in my opinion too. But hey, we'll see.
Yeah, I'm just thinking about the performance and the reveal of it. Yeah, it's surprising. I hate that she killed my boy Randy. So yeah, the hell with her. I don't like her.
Personal.
Yeah, it is personal. She should have got 2 shots to the head, not just one. Yeah.
I just want to
So-
point this out.
Yeah.
Richie.
I mean, like, you know,
I'm just kidding.
thinking about her throughout the film and everything, she's a little over the top. She's a little, I mean, if you really think about it, she's actually the one that's like, why is this character just constantly just, you know, larger than life every time she enters the scene for a second? And then, but the ending is such a good twist. And then, I don't know. I just don't like her.
I mean, that's
I
totally
just don't
fine,
like
man.
her.
I'll talk more about her when I get.
She
to
was
it, but
cooler than Roseanne as Jackie.
She did play a good character in Roseanne. I'll give you that.
Yeah.
All right, Steven, who you got your number 7?
For me here, this is where I'm going to go ahead and slot Charlie Walker at number 7.
Okay.
Ooh, I'm
Yeah.
actually surprised Steven had him ranked that high. Let's go, Steven.
Yeah, he was brutal killer, dude. I mean, That Olivia kill. I mean, dude, I would never forget in the theaters. First time I saw this movie, and when that kill happened, and the knife through the hand, and I was like, oh. And then when Sydney rushes over there in reckless abandon, which I just love that fierce fighter. She doesn't have a weapon. She doesn't care. She's going to go over there with her hands and kill
Mhm.
Ghostface, and full of adrenaline. And we see her on the bed. Dude. I'm like, dude. I was watching it with my sister in the theater. The two of us went, and I said, Wes Craven is freaking back, baby. That's what I said in the theater.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, he is back. And so Charlie did some great kills. I mean, my two favorite kills are Olivia and Anthony Perkins, Deputy Officer Perkins in the forehead.
Oh yeah.
Just,
yeah.
dude, I mean, what a great kill that was. Right in that. Oh, so I have to give my props to Charlie. His personality was horrible outside of the costume. I'm going to tell you right now, he has no personality, but he's a cold fish. But listen, when he puts on that costume,
A goldfish.
he's a
It's a
cold
cold
fish. He's on
One
on
fish,
ice.
blue fish.
He's in a
red
big
fish.
bucket of ice, ice
Oh,
down. But when he puts that costume on, he gets hot. He heats up and he lets it rip. So Charlie's number 7 for my Ghostface list.
I want to point something out about what you're talking when you said about Sydney running over there. That kill is also because we see how brave Sydney is now. Like not much
Very.
affects her negatively. When she opened the door, she could not look in. Like she opened the
No.
door and saw it, she had to turn
She's
away.
like, yeah.
That's how bad it was. So,
Yes.
but I do want to point this out because I wasn't going to bring it up. I was going to wait to bring this up until I got to Nancy. But Sarah's comment here about Nancy, she's an icon, would have been the only Ghostface to get away with it. I agree. I think she had the best possible plan to get away with it.
True.
And
I'll give it that.
Yeah, I'll discuss more about that when I get to her. But her plan was immaculate. So, all right. I guess we're up to me. Who's going to be my number 7? I got my list here. My number 7. This is going to surprise some people, but my number 7 is Roman.
Mm.
Yeah. Why aren't you moving? There we go. Yeah, I really love Roman as a Ghostface. I don't think he did anything wrong. I'm just gonna say when I got to 7, like the top half here,
Yeah.
I appreciate them all, and I really more than that. I really enjoyed them. Like I find it hard to find things wrong with them.
Yep.
But it's just at this point, it's not even me finding things that are wrong. It's just a preference. And Roman, I thought aside from Jill, Roman, I think gave Sydney the biggest run for her money.
Mhm.
Like Roman was the first Ghostface where I actually thought Sydney could die. Because and in their fight, it was a knockdown, drag out fight, and
Yes.
for a second, I'm like, oh my god, he just killed Sydney. He's gonna get away with it. So I really love him, but I just love the other people on the list that are coming up a little bit more. So my number 7's got to be Roman. All right. Here we're going, like I said, continuing draft style. Steven, you're back up with your number 6.
Okay. Number 6 for me is going to be, I'll go with Nancy Loomis.
Okay. I think that's a good spot for her. I think she's top half, like
Me
easily.
too. Yes. Great mastermind. Took her 2 years to make this plan come to life and get herself prepared and ready, get Mickey recruited, get him enrolled in school there. I mean, this was a very slow, methodical, not in a rush, very organized plan, and executed basically, well, I won't say to perfection because it was as close to perfection as you can get. The only thing that didn't work was her getting away with it. Everything else worked pretty much, except for killing Sydney and getting away with it. But everything else, I mean, this was an incredible thing. I remember seeing it in theaters thinking, I never really suspected her at all, personally. And when the reveal came and Gail walks through that door for just 2 seconds, I said, "What? No. Are you serious, Gail?" And then Gail shakes her head like a little shake to Sydney, and then there's Laurie Metcalf with the gun. And I'm like, "What?" And then Lori is on stage doing her thing, and she gears it up and goes higher and higher levels of insanity. And when she has that dialogue with Sydney, dude, I'm like, if someone talked to me like that, I would be mortified. Like that, I would be so like this person is literally lost their mind. They are out of their. They are not thinking normal. This is someone that could literally do anything at this point, and they've snapped. And those eyes, man. Those eyes she gives is just, I don't know how she just, they're just terrifying. So
And the makeover.
the makeover, yeah, that's
Yeah.
right. 60 pounds in a makeover, or whatever she said.
We all need to try it.
You should try it.
Yeah,
Look
you
at
should
that
try it,
side
Gail.
yourself there, Gail.
Yeah.
I have to say that I do love this shot where she's trying to get Sydney, and she's just got this, like she's just trying. You know that scene,
Mhm.
like that
Mhm.
shot. Like I'm like, that's psycho. Like
It
she's
is.
frustrated and she's trying to kill her.
Yes, and it's
And
believable though. That's the thing. It's
yeah,
like, unlike what we saw, not, and again, not to beat him up, but unlike what we saw with Bailey trying to pull off that same thing in 6, this is like totally different. I mean, you
Right.
actually believe this woman is insane. She is.
right. Bailey didn't take it to a dark place.
No.
Bailey, I viewed Bailey. He was too cocky. Like Bailey,
Mhm.
it seemed like he was so sure he was going to get away with it that he didn't have to be serious. And I mean, you heard
it's
it when he
like,
was
who-
talking on the phone to Sam too.
It
He's
wasn't
like,
it wasn't believable because you're sitting here and you're talking about your son and you're talking about the passion behind all this, but you're also laughing at the same time, and you're just kind of it's kind of like, are you serious or are you just having fun? Like he was more having fun.
you know what it
And-
feels like? It feels like they did like 3 or 4 takes, and they told him, in this take, I want you to be like very sad that your son died, and then next take, I want you to do this, and they just cut them together, so you don't get a solid emotion through it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it does feel like disconnected. Like,
Bearded, have you seen the deleted scenes of that scene?
no,
Like where he's like, my son has, blah 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 blah, and he's like there's a special bond between a father and a son. And then how it cuts real close to Ethan's face when he says that?
I noticed that, and I mentioned it on a live stream before. I'm like, poor Ethan's probably like,
Yeah. Well, in an outtake, Dermot's like, sorry, Ethan. Like that. Like he knew the self-awareness of that scene, and I busted out laughing whenever I saw that like deleted outtake. Like I was like, that is so funny. He's like, there's a certain bond between a father and his son. He's like, sorry, Ethan.
well, that's why they changed it in the movie. He doesn't say that. He said there's a special bond between a father and his firstborn son.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
they're still trying to show that like he's showing favoritism. Or,
Oh, yeah. 100%. Like I said, I pointed out on a live stream, like Ethan's standing there like, oh wow, I guess I'm just.
That's why I feel like
Yeah,
either
did all
Bailey,
this work, and you still don't acknowledge me?
right? That's why I feel like
Right.
Bailey or Ethan, when they were revealed, should have been a darker like one or the other should have been like more darker. But both of them were doing the same thing. They were both being like cartoon characters a little bit, and I was like, one of y'all have to take this seriously, because Ethan's either got to be heartbroken because he's trying to live up to his brother and prove something to his dad, or his dad's got to be sad about his son and be really dark and be like Nancy Loomis. The only one that was really taking it serious was Quinn.
And I mean, she was taking it like so serious.
Oh
Yeah.
Yeah.
So serious.
Well, real
I-
quick, I will say this. I mean, I don't know if you guys, feel the same way, but I feel like the reason why they made Ethan the way they did in that final act, and Steven, you know about this because you did a video about it. Jack Champion followed Matthew Lillard on Twitter.
Yep.
Now, me personally, just some of the ways that he came off definitely did feel like a low budget Stu Mocker, but just without that. There's Matthew tuned into the seriousness and the funniness so well. Jack, not so much, but I definitely did kind of get a little bit low budget Stu Mocker vibes with some of the goofiness, like that line that he said to Tara and stuff like that was kind of reminiscent about what Stu said to Sid, like, "Oh, I always had a thing for you, Sid." So, I mean, much to his, just a little bit to his defense, I think that that's how he was just written that way to somewhat be a mirror, not a mirror image, but somewhat like Stu Mocker, but it just didn't come off that well.
Yeah.
I mean, that's. Do you think it could be an extremely subtle clue that Stu was actually helping Nancy, Loomis, and Mickey? Because that's very obviously who the other two were supposed to be. That was completely being facetious. I don't think it was a clue.
Was that the original idea for Scream 3? Like he was present in Scream 2?
No, I don't know. No. I think from what I've gathered, and Craven, you can correct me on this because you might know more. From what I've gathered, the original concept for Scream 3 was Stu was going to be in prison.
Right.
He was going to be orchestrating a cult of like high schoolers, and they were going to be doing the kills.
Right. That's
But
correct.
he was leading everything from behind bars.
So it wasn't Hollywood at all.
No.
It was Woodsboro.
Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, but speaking Destin, you're next up. Who you got at your number, 6? I think we're on 6 now. Yeah.
Yep.
Let's go Richie.
You're going Richie. That's you've officially got the highest Richie on the list. What about him makes him go that high for you?
I think even though like it might be like obvious that he might be the killer, I think it was pretty surprising. Like you almost don't want it to be. Like you think it's going to be, it probably is, but you don't want it to be because how likable he is throughout the movie. Once he's revealed, I wish he would have taken his character in a more, and that's one thing about Radio Silence is like I feel like they're just not directing their characters, their killers, to be dark. Like you need to tell them like go there. Like now is the time to be serious. If we're gonna be mean natured and kill some of these people the way we're doing it, and we're taking it back to basics, we need somebody like a Billy. We need somebody that's going to take it seriously. Richie just really didn't do it, but I also just enjoyed seeing him unhinged. I enjoyed the reveal of him as a character. I think he's memorable. And I think the whole thing is, I think it's impactful. I really do. I think even though that I wanted him to be more darker, he just stands out more than the rest to me.
I mean, that's fair, man. It's perfectly fair. I love when the reveal actually happens and he stabs her. He just looks in her eyes. He's like, I know. It sucks that it's me.
And he's like, it's a bummer that it's me. Yeah.
It just, for me, it felt so real when he said that. He's like, yeah, it sucks. I'm sorry. But
Yeah.
it is. And you're going to have to deal with it.
I just wanted him to like, where's the seriousness here? Where's the look in your eye that's like, I'm doing this because of this. Mm-hmm. And whatever.
He was too goofy.
He was just, yeah. And I think that's just the thing is this. It's my same problem with Scream 6. It's so serious. It's so good all the way up until the reveal. And then our killers are just
cartoons.
Cartoons. Like, what are y'all doing?
I don't know, man. But
Let's get dark.
we'll get there. Believe the dark Ghostfaces are coming. All right, Kyle, who you got at your number 6, buddy?
Number 6 is Nancy.
Okay.
I thought I loved her reveal. I loved how that her revenge story was perfect. The only thing that bugs me is the Debbie Salt scenes, gets on my nerves, and how she killed Randy. That uh, kill still bothers me. It's one of the kills that should never happen, I thought. But when she's eventually revealed, I love that she just goes on revenge, especially when she's flying at Sydney, like we all talked about, and Laurie just really brought that revenge mom perfectly. So
Oh yeah, I think she did too. And we know the kill you're talking about that you said shouldn't have happened, and I think Wes Craven even said he shouldn't have done it.
yeah,
So I think a lot of people are there with you, buddy. John, hey man, thanks for stopping in. Don't worry about being late. We're deep into these rankings now. I think we're about halfway, about to hit the upper half to the really good ones.
I love the fact though she wouldn't let anyone trash Billy though.
Oh
I thought
yeah,
that was perfect though.
I love that. She's like, you should be careful the way you speak about my Billy. Randy said something, and I got a little knife happy.
Just the wrong person.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Oh man. All right, Marcus, who you got at your number 6?
Jill.
You got Jill. Okay, you're the
Yeah.
first Jill on the board.
Yeah. I still think she's a great character. Her reveal was shocking. I did not expect it to be her. I will say I don't think she did most of the light work in terms of, the heavy work in terms of Ghostface actually doing a lot of the murders. I think most of the stuff that we've seen her do is in the final act, killing Trevor, stabbing Charlie. Yes, I said stabbing Charlie because y'all know I don't believe he's dead.
He got stabbed
So,
in the heart.
yeah, I've already proved it in the video that you could survive that. You know what I mean? So,
Well, sure, he got shot in the love heart.
the percentages may not be so favorable
That
as
was
it
a
would
big
be for
knife.
two. Hey, I'm gonna just put it to you, Dustin. There's a guy in real life who suffered 2 knife wounds to the heart and walked out of the hospital after the doctors took care of him 12 days later, and
Ooh.
no complications. It was a case that was like I looked it up. It was like a case back in like 1984 or something like that, or
Oh.
whatever. Yeah, this was like a real thing. Dude got stabbed twice in the heart, was rushed to the hospital. Doctors did their magic. They said 12 days later that bull walked out of the hospital, no
Was
complications.
it a pocket knife?
I don't know. They didn't
But
really get.
let's use an in movie example. Chad. There's no way Chad got stabbed all those places and it didn't nick his heart at least, and he's still alive and kicking. So
Right. But back to Jill, I definitely do think that, she played the whole going rogue, turning on Charlie and maybe Kirby, and stuff really well, because I definitely do think that Charlie really thought that they were making a movie to the original. So I got to give her credit for her mastermind skills, for her playing skills. But the reason why I have her just at 6 and not higher anymore, she used to be higher on my list. But now that I'm like going back through the movie and stuff, I really take into account the amount of work that one puts in as Ghostface underneath the costume. And me personally, I don't think she did a lot of work underneath the costume, but that's just me.
oh, I agree with you, man. You know what hurts for me the most about Jill, and it's something that I don't think a lot of people. It's just kind of thrown away. Excuse me. Right before, like Sydney is fighting Charlie. Charlie's been revealed, and the thing she says to Charlie is she's still worried about her cousin. She's like, "Where's Jill?" And like throws him up against the wall and runs, and that's when Jill stabs her. And I'm like,
Yeah.
that hurts so much emotionally that her life is being threatened, and she's only worrying about her cousin. And it turns out her cousin is one of the people trying to kill her.
Yeah.
Like, dude, doesn't that just it hits hard, man.
It does.
But for me, I am my number 6. This is where I rank Charlie. I think Charlie And the fact is, I mean, he's a lot lower on the list for a lot of people, and that's fine. I think he does great work. I think that Olivia kill is top 3 of the franchise without any doubt in my mind. And I think he's underappreciated for what he did, but also I think the hate he gets for his personality. I feel like if you're the I don't want to say sick, but if you're sick enough to do that type of stuff, you might be a subdued person in like your everyday life to counterbalance that, to try to keep it hidden. Like I feel like if he let his true self out, which is the one you see in the finale, if he let that out and people notice that, he'd be going to jail. So I think it was all a ploy on his part, and I think he did it perfectly. And yeah, I think he put in some of the best work as Ghostface. I think other Ghostfaces above this did work, but brought a little bit more to the action as well. So we'll get there. But all right, Marcus, you're back up. You're back up. Who you got at your number 5? We're at top 5 now.
This
This
is where
is
it gets
exciting.
dangerous.
Yeah, this is exciting.
Very-
Charlie Walker.
Charlie, oh, there we go.
Okay.
Yep.
I'm gonna be honest, man. That's a little lower than I thought you'd go with him.
The reason why, and I'll explain later when I get to the rest of them, but obviously he's a fantastic killer as a Ghostface, man. Like he is so brutal, and just the emotions, that was portrayed for his character. Like you said, when he's swinging that knife on Olivia, like it's no joke. And I think his intelligence is really underrated as well, because I know he did get played by Jill, but she even said it herself. He was the idea man, which makes me believe that at least in terms of recording the murders, coming up with the idea to post it on social media, let's make this a real life remake of the original, but let people see it. I believe that was his idea, which I rank him at number 5 for that. And I know, like Eric said, his personality, a lot of people don't, like his personality outside of Ghostface. Me personally, I do, because I feel like he's one of the few, if not probably the only Ghostface killer that we have gotten revealed that doesn't really have that type of over the top, somewhat a little bit goofy or likable personality. And I think that's what makes him different. And I like that about him.
That's fair. That's fair. Yeah, I think he fits in. Like, I feel like his personality, he's kind of a chameleon. He could fit in with most people because he's not overbearing. But yeah, it's definitely. And what you said about him being the idea man, I go back to this. I don't think Jill knew jack shit about horror movies.
That's a good point.
She's never displayed any knowledge about him. And she knows who Ghostface is, but to this point,
one of the worst Ghostface impressions she tried to do.
Oh yeah, that was awful. But I was thinking about it like the other night. She doesn't know rules. She doesn't know anything about horror. All I think Jill did was she wanted a way to get famous, and Charlie's the one who knows the rules. Charlie's the one who sets everything up. Like overarching, like Jill has a goal. Charlie comes up with the idea and the actions to get there.
Right.
And yeah, because I don't know, maybe I'm missing something, but I can't think of a single time that Jill referenced or made any moves that
you're
were like
right.
in terms of horror movie rules or horror movies at all. Like that was Kirby and Charlie and Robbie.
Yeah, the only thing Jill was worried about was like just being famous, getting revenge on her cousin, basically.
I don't need friends.
Jealousy.
I need fans.
Exactly.
What am I supposed to do? Go to work?
Yeah, go to college, work.
John, man, we're good. We're
I
good.
said that to like a bunch of my friends that were hanging out one time. They were like, "Oh man, I thought we were friends." I was like, "I don't need friends. I need fans." And they were like, "Damn." I was like, "I'm just kidding. Y'all are all my friends."
Yes, about to say you got to make sure it's like you got to make sure to point out that's a quote.
That's just a quote.
Yeah.
Now, what's funny about her saying that line real quick is that according to Scream 5 script missing script or whatever, a draft script that Wes Craven wanted to use, and having Jill, survive as the killer going into the next film is that she was actually going to be attending college.
Yep.
Yeah, trying to escape, trying to get away.
Yep. That's
Oh,
true.
man.
But don't y'all think that that's like kind of like where the TV show, what's her name?
Emma.
Emma?
Emma.
No, not Emma, the other girl that was like helped,
Oh yeah, yeah. I
but
know who you're
she
talking
got
about.
away with it. She was an accomplice, but she didn't want to be a part of it anymore, and she was trying to move on, and she didn't want her friends to know that she helped out in the first season.
Yeah,
Audrey.
Audrey.
Oh, Audrey.
Audrey.
Yeah.
It's like they slightly use that angle with the TV show a little bit.
yeah, kind of.
That's funny because I'm actually doing a video about something I read up on that was actually talked about last year about the TV show, how the third season was actually going to be before they made switches. And man, it's crazy. I don't know if you guys heard about it, but basically everything we would have saw would have actually just been a TV show. And then the third season, they were basically going to do a Wes Craven New Nightmare type thing to where Ghostface
Oh, that
comes
would have been
after the
cool.
actor.
That's right.
Yeah, and they were actually going to bring back the actual Ghostface mask for that.
Oh, that would have been awesome.
That would
Yes,
have been
and
so
on top
good.
of that, there was talk that they were going to bring in legacy characters to start in a couple episodes and tie it into the films.
Yeah,
That
they
would've been
missed an
awesome.
opportunity. Yeah, that would have been so much better.
I
Oh,
agree.
This is a little bit off topic, but a little bit on topic. How do y'all feel about what if Scream did take the New Nightmare approach? And
Ooh.
Sydney was playing Nev Campbell,
Oof.
Randy was playing Jamie Kennedy, Billy was playing Skeet Ulrich. And it's like today, and they're trying to do this whole thing, but there's actually a real killer trying to kill the people of the first film.
The only problem I have with it is that I think one of the things that made New Nightmare amazing was the inclusion of Wes, and we wouldn't have that. That element would be gone now. So,
But it
You
could be a
wouldn't-
love letter to him.
I mean, it could, but I just feel like it wouldn't feel the same having like the maker of the movie, the director not there. And I don't want to mess up our current timeline. If it was like an off, like a kind of a
Yeah, it's a
side thing,
one-off.
yeah. As long as it didn't affect the current movies, which I don't see the studio doing that. But I'm not against the concept.
Yeah.
Like for instance, give it a setting like they are doing these cons, and they're not the same people that they play in the movies, and they're trying to promote some new project or movie or whatever. And you think Skeet is a killer type, but he's a total opposite in real life, Like, I don't know. I think it's something fun to play with if you can deconstruct the horror genre again, but do it New Nightmare style.
I mean, it'd be cool. I wouldn't hate it. I just, like I said, I don't want it to mess current things up.
No,
That's just me,
no.
though.
No, yeah. It would
Like
definitely be its
yeah.
own thing.
Like a Halloween 3.
Yeah, like an anthology thing. I got you. All right. What's up, Michael? We got someone.
What's up, brother?
Michael,
What's up, Mike?
Hey,
how
man.
you doing, man?
All right, we gotta jump back in here. We're getting a little behind. So, Flet, man, you're up.
Oh,
Who
so
you have it? You're number 5.
So my number 5 is Mickey. I love Timmy Olyphant's performance. He's so psychotic, and he's definitely given one of my favorite kills in sequences in the franchise when he attacks the two detectives that try and take Niv and Hallie away, and how tense it is. They have to crawl over him.
That is a tension-filled scene, and it's some good kills too. Like, people don't realize how brutal those are.
And I love his reveal. History repeats itself. Sid.
Mhm.
And then,
Sid.
then of course, they dub Roger L. Jackson's voice over surprise Sydney line, and the way he delivers his lines through the whole final act, and then shoots Derek and he's so full, so he thinks that he's gonna go right to the trial. It's gonna rock.
Oh
And
yeah,
then-
and he
Oh, yeah.
the only one who has a different plan.
Yeah.
Because so far, every other
Mhm.
person's had the same plan: kill, get away with it. He's the only one who's like, no, 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 no. I want to get caught, and that's an
And-
easy thing to happen.
And that's why Mrs. Loomis says, Mickey, there's not going to be a trial, and shoots him. And I love how he
Yeah.
pops out, too. It's so funny.
Oh yeah, yeah. His one last scare, he gets riddled with bullets.
And he just goes flying.
Another thing too to give
Like
him
Michael
credit.
Bay.
Another thing to give him credit too, he was the first Ghostface to reveal himself out of the costume with the
Yeah.
taking the mask off.
That's true.
Yep.
That
And
was
I
a
love
good
his-
look.
And I love his
Was.
scenes with Randy, too. Was good.
Even though it was super obvious.
Yeah.
Him and Randy together was a good combo.
It was.
Like I just love watching movie nerds talk about movies together, and that
Especially
was
the
that was
class
what it
scene.
was. Oh yeah.
Empire Strikes Back.
Oh, gosh.
Part of a pre-planned trilogy,
Yeah.
not a sequel.
Not a sequel.
Oh, okay. So, Destin, who you got at your number 5? Who's cracking the top 5 for you?
Oh, I'm struggling here. I'm gonna go with Roman.
Going Roman top 5. Okay, yeah, I
All
think
right.
everyone but me is gonna have Roman top 5, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Roman, for the simple fact, I appreciate the way it's executed in the finale. I don't think Roman had enough screen time for it to be in it as impactful as it was. I almost forgot who the hell is this guy. I had to take a double take for a minute. And I also thought that like his whole faking the death thing, and then Courtney, Gail finding him, checking his pulse, and she's just like, "Is he dead?" And then Jennifer's behind her, and he's like, "Yeah," and then they run off. Everybody's always wanted this Roman and Angelina thing. I've always thought it would be really cool if it was Roman and Jennifer. I thought that would be really clever, and that would make sense in that moment that Gail found him like that. And yeah, Roman, I wanted more with the climax of Scream 3. I accepted it. Great climax as far as execution, but as far as story, I wanted more. But he's definitely better than others. So yeah, that's where I'm at.
Sweet.
Yeah.
He's
awesome.
he's a part of the story. He's not just another killer.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's true.
True, man.
Like linking him back to the first one, and I always try to give 3 a little bit more of a grace, because we got to take into account that this is not what 3 was supposed to be.
Yeah.
They came up with this story very, very fast to cover up for what was happening. We all know that story. So this is, I think, if you take that into account, we got a great movie in
Yeah.
Scream 3.
Yeah, for his
100%.
yeah, it's
Yeah.
better than what we get today.
Oh yeah, and
Yeah.
like the tie-in with Roman meant something. It wasn't just we're throwing this name out there to tie it in. Like, it was impactful. It really
Yeah.
mattered to the story, to a point where if you removed Roman, the entire story would be different. Like, there's tie-ins now where if you remove it, like 1, 2, 3, 4, they would all be the same. Nothing would change. So.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, man, I get it. I'm surprised I had him as low as I do, if I'm being honest. But I don't know. I was just feeling it. The other ones were getting a little less love than they should. So, all right, y'all. We're gonna do something different here, because Steven, I know you. So you gotta head out. So if
Yeah.
you want, let's power through your top 5
Sure.
before you jump out, and then we'll
Okay.
just speed round, and then you can, if you want to plug your stuff again before you head out.
Yeah. Okay. Thanks, Eric. I appreciate that, man. I'm gonna just if I was feeling a little bit better, I'd stick it out, but I think my body's telling me I'm reaching the end of the tracks. So Thanks for understanding, buddy.
Of course, yeah, I completely get it. So,
All right.
the anticipation is killing me. Let's go top 5 for you. Who you got?
All right.
Who you
Here we
got at
go.
5?
So at number 5 is Mickey Altieri.
Okay.
And you guys have talked a lot about Mickey. I don't have a lot to add to what we've already talked about tonight. He's a great Ghostface. And the thing I love about Mickey is he's one of the Ghostfaces in the franchise that has the physical build where we never ever once question any kill. It's just there's never a question of strength, body size, height, none of that stuff. We don't have to we don't have to suspend disbelief with him, as we do with some other characters. And I don't mind doing that with other characters. It's not a big deal. It's a movie. But with him, you don't have to, which is kind of cool. But Mickey's great. Next up for number 4 is going to be Roman Bridger. I like Roman a lot, and I just think he's great. He's strong. He's determined. He's on a mission, and man, the guy he's got his stuff together. And again, you guys know where I stand on Roman. I do not believe he's the sole Ghostface.
No.
And I think that it's very obvious if you watch the movie carefully that there's 2 killers there. It's how Wes filmed it, and it's how Wes wrote it. And he met his obligation to the Weinsteins to not reveal Angelina as the second killer. They said they don't want, Bob said he didn't want to see, we don't want Angelina to be revealed as a killer. We don't like that. So he didn't. But he shot it exactly the same. And so they got what they wanted, and West got what he wanted. And him and Aaron Kruger were literally writing this movie every day they were shooting it. And I remember them telling stories of how sometimes a half hour before shooting, they were given scripts. And the actors were like, here you go, 30 minutes, we're filming. And when you watch Scream 3, the amazing ease of which these actors perform, you would never know they just got those scripts, some of them that same day.
Yeah.
It's polished.
How many takes would that have to be like to get the script right before you're about to say action?
Well, right? I mean, I don't know. To me, sure, I'm sure there were several takes, but it does speak, I believe, to the talent level of these actors. Eric, I see your hand up down there.
It definitely does. And I just wanted to throw this out there. I just learned this. You all might have known this, but when Jennifer Jolie,
Parker,
when she jumps into her bodyguard's arms,
yes,
that wasn't planned.
No,
she did something different every take, so he had
Multiple
no
takes.
clue what she was going to do.
That's right.
Yeah, so he just with that one, she just jumped in, and he just got her. I don't know. I thought that was great. Sorry,
It's hilarious. No,
Yeah.
you're right. Yeah, Wes had her do multiple things, different time, like 6, 7 takes, something different every time, and Wes picked the jumping up in the arms for the movie to go with. It's so good. But it also speaks to Wes's ability to have a calming set, an environment where these actors could do this. And you guys saw Lynn McCree on the channel, how she talked about how it was filming there for 3 weeks, that she was there, and how the environment was with him. Everything was peaceful, calm. He just had a presence about him. And even in the midst of this insanity that was happening, he kept everything very even. And so I've always said it like this: a lesser director would have probably caved, and this movie would have been a train wreck. With lesser director, lesser actors, this would have been a movie that would have been in the realms of some of the worst franchise sequel duds of history. But you know what? It's not the case. And I defend it. I'm going a little bit long here, but I love Scream 3. I defend it, and I think that it's a fun movie that if people really understood it more, they would appreciate it more. That's all. I think that's misunderstood.
I definitely
All right,
agree.
number
top 3.
top 3. Here we go. Top 3. I love my top 3.
I know who they're going to be.
You do. You guys
Oh,
know.
yeah.
You guys should know this. Number
Come on.
3 is Jill Roberts at number 3. She is absolutely insane. I love this woman. She's the only Ghostface that we see have self mutilation. We see this woman scratching her face, pulling her own hair, stabbing herself, jumping on a table, breaking the glass table. She is completely committed
Good
to
zoom tie.
this. Yeah,
Bless
yeah,
you.
bless
Thank
you,
you.
brother. Bless you, brother. Um, and she's calculated. She is manipulative. She's void of emotion and feeling. And to the fact that she hits, what she say? I even had to kill my own mother just so that I could match you.
Yeah.
I mean, this to Sting had a song. You're as cold as ice. I'll tell you what.
Technically, she didn't say that.
Well, she had to have her mom killed.
Yeah,
All right,
she
what'd
said
she
my.
say?
She said my own mother had to die.
Right. Yeah,
Yeah.
the same difference. Whether she had the knife or not, she's responsible for it. That's my point. She's
Yeah.
responsible for her mom's death. And I mean, that's as cold as ice. That's the mom. I don't want, and that's the kind of person where you think you're cool with them, and they'll turn right around and just do what they do. So Jill, absolutely number 3. I love her. Scream 4 is my favorite sequel in the Scream franchise. And now number 2, rapid fire, is Billy Loomis, ladies and gentlemen. At number 2, yep, that's right, Destin. Billy Loomis. I love Billy. I think he's a phenomenal psychopath, and the effort that Skeet Ulrich put into the character, and you guys will talk about it later as you guys get to him, how he prepared for him, having the 2 different hotel rooms is insane. Having a hotel room for Billy and the one for Skeet. And so he would go into Billy's room and watch these, crime scene documentaries on serial killers and black lighting and all this stuff where it was all around method and becoming Billy Loomis. It's impressive. So as an actor, Skeet, I can't say any more about him. He's fantastic. So love him, but I love someone just a little bit more. And it has to be Stu Macher at number 1, ladies and gentlemen. Matthew Lillard is my number 1 Ghostface. I love this character. He's my favorite character of the franchise, not just the film. Overall 6 films. This is the guy who will laugh with you. He'll party with you. He'll watch movies with you, and he will kill you. And he'll do all of it with a smile. Yeah, he'll slit your throat and do everything with a smile and a laugh. And the charisma he has, this guy displayed everything you need to be a cult leader. We talked about it in The People versus Stu Macher. This is what a cult leader does. He's charismatic. You're drawn to him. He can get your attention. You want to listen to him. You want to be around him. He'll bring you in. And guess what he does? He starts to slowly manipulate until he has you. And he's the perfect cult leader. Even at 17, he showed those qualities. So you can imagine at 48, 50 years old in the Scream world, how those have developed over time. He's a master now of it. So Stu Macher is my number 1. Stew Train tickets, baby. Get on that Stew Train. If you're not on the Stew Train, guys, what would fate say, Eric?
What are you doing?
Yeah, what are you doing?
I'm making sure I'm there.
And here's to, fingers crossed, guys. Seriously. Stu Macher and Scream 7. Hashtag Stew Nation. Let's go, guys. Let's go.
Right.
So, Eric, this was a ton of fun. I really appreciate your invitation, man.
Yeah, it was a great time. I'm going to be honest. I'm a little surprised by your list. I will download the photo if you want and send it to you, just so you have your lists. If you wanted to share it out, I learned that was something you could do. But yeah, man, thanks for coming. I know you do have a stream coming up Tuesday or Thursday.
Oh, I do actually. Yeah, Tuesday at 6 p.m. Central, 7 Eastern. I'll be interviewing Lee Waddell, the original Ghostface from Scream 1, for 1 hour live stream. So come and hang out, ask your questions for Lee. We're going to get some amazing insight, guys, to Scream 1. I cannot wait to see what he's going to share about filming those iconic scenes that we love. And in the third act, running around Stu's house in costume, all those kills, it's going to be fantastic. So that's Tuesday. And then Thursday, I hope you'll all come out as a gang and watch Scream 6 at 6:30 p.m. Central with Michelle Laliberte, the production designer for Scream 6. Live watch party. So it's a fun week coming up here, guys. And you guys showing up will make it much more fun. So I hope you'll make it and be there.
I will be there, and I'm posting links to those in the chat right now.
Thank you,
So
man.
I'll definitely be there in the chat as well.
I'll be
Good. There you go, Marcus. Sing it, buddy.
Is there going to be popcorn?
You know, I think your local Kroger or HEB or Amazon even can order that. Probably you can probably get that to your house in time.
I don't have Prime though. Do you think it'll get here in time?
Probably.
Oh,
Maybe
yeah.
for Thursday. Yeah, you should be.
I'm just kidding.
No,
I'll be there.
So
I will be there.
that's awesome, guys. Eric, I have a last question for you. Then I'll jump off.
Yeah.
Which was the most surprising for you of my top 5?
The most surprising for me
Yes.
was that you had Mickey so low.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe I'm a Mickey fan, a little bit more of a Mickey fan, but
Mm-hmm.
I think he's Mickey and Charlie so high.
Yeah. You know, Mickey and
Yeah, I
Roman.
ain't gonna lie. That definitely surprised me, Charlie being that high on Steven's list. I didn't expect that.
Yeah, honestly, he would not have been if it weren't for Scream 6. The Baileys bailed out. They bailed out Charlie because Charlie would have been right down there with Amber before 6.
And as well, also I got to say, Amber not being last, that was a huge surprise.
You know, I'm gonna be honest with you. I tried to really take some of the emotion out of this and looked at it practically and say, you know what? Jason had 1 kill. Amber had a lot of kills. She did, a few kills. She had a lot more of a resume. So anyway, I won't go read back, but that's kind of why I tried to think of it without the burning passion of me not liking that character, because I do not like that character. So anyway, and we go, if we do this next month, this list could probably even change again, and that's the fun part of it,
It definitely does change like day to day for me. Like the middle section, it definitely those flip around. The bottoms and the tops usually kind of stay cemented where they are, but
sure. Like I could easily see Mickey and Roman switching tomorrow. I could switch Mickey for Roman, what have you. But as for tonight, that's how I'm feeling. But I can't wait to see y'all's top. So tomorrow I'm going to pull up the stream and watch the replay here and see what you guys finish up with. I'm very, very curious.
And I'm going to post it. Like I said, I'm going to download it and I'll post it on YouTube and tag y'all.
Yeah, beautiful.
Sounds
man.
good.
All right, hope you guys give Stu some love. No influence.
I mean, you can see he's definitely top 5 for all of us. So,
Oh yeah,
yes, for sure. All right, guys. Eric, thanks again, my friends, and everyone. It was good to see you all. I had a great time.
Same here, Steven.
Thanks
All
for
right,
coming, man.
see you, Steven.
Good night.
Have a
Have a
good
good night,
night.
Steven.
Bye.
All right, so I think I still need to do 5, and then we'll jump back into the 4s. And my number 5 is actually I already did 5, right? My number 5 is Charlie. I need to do my number 4. Okay, my number 4. Yeah, sorry, I was a little confused there. Is Jill. For me, Jill. I think Jill and Charlie belong together. But I don't know. I think Jill had a kind of a dominant personality throughout the movie. I feel like Charlie was more dominant in the finale. I know some people might disagree. Him as a Ghostface, I think, is more dominant, but she was more dominant throughout the film in terms of character. And I gave her a little bit more for that. Wait a minute. No. Oh, I missed one. Never mind. That's wrong. It's not supposed to be Jill. 1 second. It's supposed to be Nancy. Nancy is my number. There we are. There, I'm caught up now. Yeah, Nancy.
No,
crazy.
man, it's a done deal, man.
I changed yours. I changed yours already. I can change mine. No.
Once it's put it up there, you put it up there.
We talked about Nancy already. She was wonderful. I think she was the most likely to get away with it. Even everything with her was calculated. Even, and people don't think about this, but when she came through the door, and you don't see her, you see Gail being pushed through the door. That was a tactical decision. If Sydney or whoever it was going to shoot whoever comes through that door, well, then they'd be shooting Gail, not her. So, like, everything she did was tactical. And I think she got, like you said, Destin, she got filled with rage, and it was scary. She wasn't trying to be funny. It was like a legitimate fighting with everything she has to try to take out this person who killed her son.
Right. Okay. So here's my thing about this whole situation, right? And this is just like me thinking Nancy Loomis was cartoon character, comedic, larger than life, I guess you would say, throughout the movie, right? Every time she came on screen. When she became a killer, she was dark. She was just like, no, like, yeah. She gave her exposition and all this kind of stuff, but she was just on a mission. She was psycho, and she had a good motive. It was like the opposite with this new trilogy. It was like everything was so serious, but when we get to the climax, our killers are goofy or not taken seriously. It's like, no, you're a killer right now. Like, sell that shit and be a killer. You know, like
Billy Loomis in Scream.
Like a Billy Loomis. Yeah.
I'm thinking like Billy Loomis in part 5 and part 6. What did you say to Sam? You ready to slash up some more motherfuckers?
Yep.
Like,
yeah.
Like, that's I get it, man. That's what I want, but like you got to do it right. That's the thing. I think you can lean too far in either direction. And we're getting to the ones we're top 4 now. We're getting to the ones where they did it perfectly. So without further ado, let's just get ahead and jump into those. Marcus, who you got at number 4?
Mrs. Loomis.
You got Nancy Loomis at number 4. That's a good spot, man. She fits
Yeah.
in there.
I mean, me personally, I absolutely loved her character as Debbie Soul because I didn't expect her to turn out to be a killer. And the one line that really stands out to me that is a subtle clue now that I'm older and I'm like more observant of this is when the whole copycat, thing was being brought up, and she goes up to Gail and Gail basically shuns her and she says, well, I'm just saying, if the killer is repeating, stuff from Woodsboro, it's quite possible the killer could be from Woodsboro. That's all. Basically, that's a clever little subtle clue that it's her, it's because she's from Woodsboro. She's Billy's mother. And once again, like, you made a really excellent point, Eric, about how she pushed Gail out first, because like you said, if Sydney or whoever is behind that door is going to shoot, Gail's getting shot, not her. And just to reveal, like, I think that was the most not the most shocking, but just like, that's up there as one of the most shocking reveals because, one, I don't think a lot of people really, thought that it was going to be a female. That's number one. And then two, who it was. Like, this is this reporter lady, you know what I mean? Like, why is she doing it? And then you find out it's Billy's mother, and it's like, oh, okay, now this not only just did it go dark, but it's personal. So I absolutely love Laurie Metcalf in this role. I think she rocked it the entire film. And I do want to point this out too. She was the reason why we got one of our legacy characters killed off in the first place. A kill that nobody expected to happen. Randy getting killed. She owns that. So that's why she's number 4 on my list.
It's a good spot. And that Randy kill, man, if you're a fan of Scream, that still hurts you.
Yep. Absolutely.
That's fair, man. All right.
Yep.
Flet, you're up. Who you got at number 4?
Roman.
You got Roman. That's a high spot for Roman. I respect that. I respect that.
Yeah. So number 4, Roman. We of course we all knew he was supposed to be with Angelina, but he was the first. He did some stuff that Ghostface never did anything at that point. I do love the fact he blew up someone. That was very clever. I
Yes.
thought.
Oh, blowing up
No.
the house.
Yeah. How comical it is, but that is very clever. And then, of course, him revealing that he's the brother goes back to the first one. That makes you really think. But I do love his reaction with Sydney, and they just beat the heck out of each other, and it's just brutal. And Sydney has really earned it to kill him. So.
Oh yeah. Someone made a comment earlier. I wanted to pull it up because I thought it was a great comment. We kind of moved right here. Polar, her comment: Roman and Sid fight makes my body hurt.
Oh yeah.
That is true. They have a knockdown, drag out fight. And like I said earlier, Roman was the first person where I thought legitimately Sydney might die. So
But
this is a perfect comment, Polar.
And she's outsmarted him.
Oh yeah, she did. So I respect that. I respect that pick. All right, Destin, who you got at number 4?
Number 4. All right. It's gonna have to be Mickey.
Mickey Altieri at number 4. All right.
Yeah, as much as it was obvious, his performance was good. I think it was really cool, his motive. And once they showed that shot of Dewey and Gail in the camcorder, I was like, well, Mickey had the camcorder the whole time. Like, the whole time, I think he was a little bit too absent to where it was like, where's he been this entire time? Why isn't he a victim? Oh, he must be a killer. So, but his performance as a killer, Timothy Oliphant, is amazing.
Oh yeah, he is.
He's so damn good in anything. Has anybody ever seen that Stephen King movie? What's it called? Oh, I can't think of the name of it, but he's in it. It's got Jason Lee in it. It's got Thomas Jane. Maybe
night,
somebody
Russell.
in the
Oh, sorry. I just wanted to let Russell know. Good night. I see your top 3, man. It's a good list. Can't argue with it. Have a good one. I'm trying to think of the movie you're talking about.
Yeah.
Is it the one about the 1920 something? About the farm?
No. That's close.
Dreamcatchers.
Dreamcatcher.
That's Jamie figured it out. I was about to say.
Yeah, from 2003.
Jamie always shows me up. Jamie always one-ups me. She's always Mario Brothersing this guy. Every time I love her. She is so awesome. She is, I would say, my soulmate, but I don't know. But she knows exactly what I'm thinking when I'm thinking it. She is awesome. Dreamcatchers is such a good movie, and Timothy Oliphant is great in it. Thomas Jane is in. Have you seen it, Bearded?
No, I've never even heard of it, man.
I can't believe that movie's 20 years old. I have seen
It's
it.
got Morgan
20
Freeman in
years
it too,
old?
right?
Yeah, 2003.
How
It was in
old
March.
am I?
What year is it?
Yeah, Doc.
Oh,
It's got
man.
Morgan Freeman and Donnie Wahlberg in it as well.
Donnie Wahlberg's in it. Morgan Freeman's in it.
Tom
That movie
Sizemore.
is such an underrated gem. I went to the movies to see it like 3 times, and I was like, "Why isn't this getting talked about more?" This movie is so amazing. If you haven't seen Dreamcatchers, watch it. Watch it now. It's so good. It's so good. All right. Anyways, Timothy Oliphant's great in that movie. He's also great in this. Yeah, this is where I place him.
All right.
I think he's a great killer. I think he's a little obvious throughout the movies, but we're talking about his performance and him as a killer.
That's fair. I mean, he's top 5, and I think that's all that matters. I think he deserves top 5. So, I'm cool with him landing there. So for me, we already know my pick because I accidentally put it up there early. But my pick for my number 4 is Jill Roberts. We've already said so much about Jill. I think we all know how amazing she is. The fact that she's at this point, I think top 5. Yeah, she's top 5 for everyone, which is great considering she came from the 4th movie. She was Sarah said it earlier, she was kind of the last of the solid killers, in my opinion, her and Charlie. I think Charlie was great as well, so I'm going to throw that up there. But after 4, we started seeing a decline in the killers. And I think that shows with all these lists so far. Like all the killers on the bottom of the list are from the last 2 movies. So, with this, obviously Charlie and Destin's list an exception because he got it wrong. But other than that, I'm kidding, buddy. I'm kidding. All right, so we're going. Destin, you're back up, man. We're going draft style, so you're up again. Who's your number 3?
We're working with Billy, Jill, and Stu now. Jill.
Jill's your number 3. It's a good solid number 3.
It's a good solid number 3.
Yeah.
Jill, I have to say that she earned that spot because when I first watched Scream 4, and everybody knows if you're a part of my channel, you've been following me about the Scream films and everything, and I know it's not popular or whatever, it's an unpopular opinion. Scream 4 is not my favorite. Before I went and saw that movie, the killers were revealed to me. I'm pretty sure that diminished some of my what am I trying to say? It just wasn't as impactful because I knew what was coming. I wasn't the biggest fan of the beginning. I wasn't the biggest fan of the cinematography. There was just a lot of things that was negative about me. But the one thing that I can say that was positive, whether I knew it or didn't know it, was Jill. Jill as being the person, because the movie was kind of marketed as Jill was going to be the new Sydney. And that's what we were going into, is we're about to follow this girl. We're about to pass the torch to her. And then it just kind of flips it. And then it goes into a totally different direction of how she's trying to set up this entire crime scene. That really, really made it for me. The biggest negative I can say about Scream 4, and I know this is about Jill, but not Scream 4, is both of the killers are short as hell, and it's just not believable to me. But Jill is awesome.
Yeah, I agree, and that is a very widespread complaint about the movie, with both of them being short, and that's one of where you gotta definitely suspend the disbelief. But yeah, Jill, she's
who
great.
was the kill? Who was the other officer besides the one that got stabbed in the head? Adam Brody's character.
Perkins. Perkins, yeah.
I don't believe he's dead.
Hoss.
I do not believe he's dead. That was the weakest fucking death of all the Scream. One stab to the back and I'm gonna fall over.
It's not the weakest death. The weakest death was Angelina, a stab to the shoulder and dragged off stage.
I think Brody takes it over Angelina.
Well, so Angelina was shoulder, right?
Yeah.
He got stabbed in the back, yeah, but that knife was long enough. It would where he got stabbed, it would have definitely pierced the lung.
Oh, really?
Yeah, if you look,
tell that to Dewey.
What do you mean?
Dewey got stabbed in the back in the first Scream movie.
Yeah, and look, he got wheeled out on a stretcher. He severed a nerve.
Okay, well, we're gonna have Brody in a few films, severed nerve with a limp,
Man,
and he's
I
gonna
mean,
be
maybe
killing motherfuckers.
I'm just no. I'm not saying. I'm not saying Brody 100% would have died. It is believable he could survive. I'm saying that the likelihood of him dying would be higher than the likelihood.
It just
of
could have been
her
more.
dying.
It as much as the other as Anthony Anderson's character, as much as he got stabbed in the forehead and how brutal that was. Brody's character should have been at least a cut through the throat, or something.
They do say that he's dead though, because when Dewey shows up, Dewey asks where Perkins and Haas are, and the person I think it's Deputy
Hicks.
Hicks,
Deputy
is
Hicks said they were found dead in their car about two blocks away.
Yeah.
So they confirmed he's dead.
Well, Hicks is full of shit.
Sure. I can't. Okay. All right, Flat Man. Who is cracking your top three?
I'll be
Mine's
right
also
back.
mine's also 3. I'm 3. What the hell am I saying? Mine's also Jill. I think what's so cool about it, you thought Sydney was stepping back, you focus on Jill, but I just love Jill's motive. I get it, and her performance, just despite Charlie being the better killer than the killers, but something about Jill, her reveal was shocking to me because I never expected her at all. Just the way they were playing it, and I love the fact how the way she tries to stay innocent is so brutal, doing all that kind of stuff to herself. And I love the fact though, once they're at the hospital, she realizes her cousin's still alive. Darn it, my plan's not finished yet, and she has to go crazy. I love her performance in the first. She tries to takes on everybody.
Yeah, she really
It's
just like I said with Sam and seeing that switch in her eyes, the hospital scene you're talking about, as soon as Dewey walks away and she knows Sid's alive, her face just completely changes back. Like she's like, all right, time to go to work again.
Yeah. You just couldn't die.
Yeah, who are you, Michael fucking Myers?
Clear.
What? Oh yeah.
It's so good.
All right, Marcus, man, who's cracking your top three?
Man, now a couple months ago, this mofo was number 1. I've had a change of heart over the last couple months, and there's a few. Oh, it's nothing against this particular person. It's just for other reasons. But Billy Loomis.
Billy. Wow, you got Billy Loomis at 3.
Drop the mic.
Yep. And
Love it.
It's nothing against Billy himself. Amazing psychopath. I even think in Scream 6 he's gotten even a little bit more elevated because of how enthusiastic they showed how he was about the Ghostface crime, which I'm not sitting there saying they didn't show his enthusiasm for being a killer before, but I feel like in a more like fun, playful way, they definitely did show that in Scream 6. His reaction to the crime, like, holy, get a fucking load of this place. Like just how elated he was to see that. Well, Ghost Billy anyway. But amazing psychopath. But what low has him as number 3 for me, what knocked him down, is I really had to go back and think about it from Scream 1996. And I'm not sitting there saying he didn't kill nobody or that he didn't do anything. I think he did kill Casey Becker. However, when I look at the overall kills, I feel like Stu did more. And granted, Stu kind of had to because Billy at that point was, suspected to be the killer. So they had to kind of make him not look like the killer. But I just feel like at the end of the day, when it comes down to overall kills, Stu did more. And I'll also explain why I think Stu ranks ahead of Billy when I get to Stu.
All right, man, that's fair.
That's awesome.
Yeah, man, we're all gonna have different opinions. I mean, if you look at our list right now, even where they are right now, it's already like considerably different. So
that's what makes it fun.
Yeah, exactly. That's what makes this so interesting. Is we all watch the same movies, but we watch them differently. We like slightly different things. So,
Right.
um, for my top three, crack in the top three for me is Mickey. I think he was so unhinged in the best way possible. And I love the uniqueness of his motive. He was, if you want to say like he's sloppy with it or anything like that, you can always take into account he wanted to get caught. So like that gives him freedom to do things a little differently. Like, so what if they'd have taken his mask off while he was in the car? He wanted to get caught. Like it was I just I think Mickey
Ballsy.
was exactly. He was top 3 for me easily. So here's what I want to do, y'all. When we go to these next ones, say I want you to say 2 then 1, because once you give your top your number 2, we're automatically going to know who the top Ghostface is for you. So
Right.
2 then the 1, and then why you think why your number 1 is your number 1. So we're going draft style. So Marcus, you're up next. Who are your top 2 in order?
Number 2, Stu Macher, and number 1, Roman Bridger.
That is a little surprising, man. Not gonna lie.
Yeah.
I think I might have an idea why, but go ahead, lay it out. Why you got Roman at number 1?
Why I have Roman at number 1 is he basically kicked the wheels of motion. I'm not sitting there saying Billy Loomis wouldn't have became a killer or decided to, start killing people, but Roman going to Billy, showing him the evidence that he showed them against, Marine and, Billy's dad, Haig, that really drove Billy over the edge. Like Roman said, I gave him the motivation. And then this also for Roman too, as a Ghostface. Now, I wholeheartedly believe he did have a partner, but that's neither here or there. We haven't got that revealed, so we have to stick with that. He was the only Ghostface in that film. The way that he attacked his victims, in my opinion, was really unique because that was the first time we see Ghostface like in costume really punching people in the face. Like he punched Sarah Darling in the face. You know what I mean? That was the first time I ever seen Ghostface like really do that. You know what I mean? Then coming up with other ways to kill people, like blowing up Jennifer. Was it Jennifer's house?
I think it was Tom's house, right?
Tom's house, yeah, Tom Prince's house. That's right. You know what I mean? Blowing up his house, and then just the overall story about it. Without Roman, in so many ways, if Roman doesn't show up, we don't have a story. So maybe Marine's secret never comes to light without Roman Bridger showing up in Woodsboro. So, and just I like Roman and that ending with Sydney, and much to what you said, Eric, I honestly thought he killed Sydney. I thought it was over when he shot her. I was like, I would just remember being, younger, and I'm just like, my mouth just dropped. I'm like, she's done. Like, it's over. She's dead. And then obviously she had the bulletproof vest on, but he was the closest one outside of Jill, and I agree with that too. He was the closest one to killing Sydney. And that ending, that final act with them two going back and forth, brother and sister like that was epic in my opinion. That to me is one outside of Scream 1996, probably the second best ending in the franchise, in my opinion.
I'm with you, man. It was amazing. All right, Kyle. What are your number 2 and number 1?
Number 2, Billy. Number 1, Stu.
Nice. Okay. We all know obviously who they're gonna be. It's just what order, and that's not a given nowadays. All right. Why do you have Stu above Billy?
Oh, I think Stu is definitely the ultimate Ghostface. He could be funny. He could be serious, but he could be your friend, but he could also turn on you, and he can show his psychopath ways, and even so, he can even kill. Well, have depends what you think about it. Have not be that sad that his ex Casey Becker gets killed, and I just love some of the perfect casting ever is Game Matthew Lillard to be Stu, and I love the fact Matthew brought something to Stu that he could improvise to like Wes loved when he gets hit with the phone.
Mm-hmm.
and everything. You hit me with the phone, dick.
Oh yeah, one of the
but
one of the most iconic lines of all time.
Absolutely.
I just love the fact Stu didn't even know Billy's motive too. The look on his face, what? Is that's why you're really doing this? But at the same time, Stu even though even though he had a thing for Sid, he still would kill you. And there's something about Stu was definitely badass.
Yeah.
So many ways.
Yeah, and I got a thing or two to add, but I'll wait till we get to my list. So,
Yeah.
All right, Destin, man, what order are your top two in? You're on mute. Can't hear you.
Sorry.
Okay.
This is really, really tough because this is like the yin to your yang. They're both equally great in their own ways, but it's gonna have to go Stu to Billy.
Okay, so Stu's number 2, Billy's number 1.
Yep.
Man, nobody can hate on that.
Nope.
For the simple fact is, I love Stu. I really do. Billy brought that darkness. Stu brought that lightness. He brought the fun element to it. He almost was like puzzled. He almost probably didn't even know why he was Billy's partner to begin with. Billy had this hidden agenda of this motive, and Stu, there's like a one shot of showing Stu's face and showing that he was also like surprised, but he just went with it because Stu just was having fun. But Billy, what I want to see throughout my entire Ghostface line here, I want to see that darkness that Billy brought from the first film, and we have not reached it yet. And I don't know why. I don't know if the director is telling the actor not to act that way, but we need it. And here's the thing is like if we do get Stu back, and I am on the Stu train. I love Stu. We get him back. Do y'all want him to act like Stu? Or do you want him to act dark like Billy?
I think I don't want him to be. It's gonna be weird. I don't want him to be either. Like I want him to be a little of both.
Both, yeah.
Yeah, like he's got to be dark. And here, who I'm going to use as an example is Jill. Jill was dark, man. Like she appeared light, but Jill, if you really,
but she wasn't dark like Billy.
I think she was.
She was crazy. She was crazy.
Well, that's what I'm saying. She had both.
Yeah.
Like she was crazy like Stu, because here's something I was gonna save it to when I get to Stu, but when Kyle was talking about Stu and why he's number 1, something else if you pit Stu and Billy against each other, look how willing Stu was to get stabbed to sell it.
Yeah.
Like, and look how Billy was such a little. He was a little bitch about it. Did you see he was turning? He's like, make sure you do this. Just like we talked about. Like he was so sketched about it. Stu was like, let's go, let's do it.
He didn't care how many times he got stabbed.
Exactly.
Yeah, but it was that time that Billy stabbed him too deep or whatever. That's when Stu was like, oh yeah, I'll remember. That's when he turned on Billy for a minute. That's when he was just like, no, I'm going to cut you a little deeper than you thought because you cut me a little bit too deeper.
Because Billy kind of went overboard.
So Billy snapped out after that and was like, damn it, Stu. And he was like, sorry, Billy. I guess I got a little too jealous, huh?
And there's something, the way Skeet had that dark look when he made the reveal why he's really doing it.
Yeah, that was.
Yeah,
that was
I see. I don't know. I find Jill to be dark too. Like I don't know what it is about her, but she's definitely not like cartoonish like the rest of
Right.
them aren't. Because when you say cartoonish, Justin, I think that's the perfect word to describe like Mickey, like Miss Loomis. Like I think it's the perfect word to describe them. And I definitely don't put Jill in that same category. For me, Jill is the closest to Billy in terms of like demeanor, if that makes sense. Like she's not making jokes. I mean, she does literally make a joke, but she's not trying to be funny. She's not anything. She's there to do a mission and get it done, and she doesn't care who has to die to do it. And I feel like she was the darkest. She was the darkest since Billy, and probably the darkest we've had so far after Billy.
But
I'd
she
have
could
to
have
agree
been
with that.
darker.
Oh, they always could have been. They could all be darker. That's true. But I'm just saying. I think if Stu comes back, I would want him to be around that level. Like there's a joke he's going to crack now and then, but overall, he's out to get stuff done. He's on a mission.
Right.
So, yeah, he could be darker. She could be darker. They could. I mean, technically, they could all be a little darker. But, I mean, I guess for me now. My top two. For me, I've got Billy at 2, and I've got Stu at number 1. And the thing about it for me has always been, who am I more scared of for these two? And I'm more scared of Stu. That's the thing. With Billy, for most of the people, they have something they want or a reason they're doing it. And I feel like it would be easier to avoid getting killed by them because of that reason. Like if you know what they want, you could help give it to them. If they have a reason to kill, just get out of the way. Don't provide that reason. I don't think Stu needed a reason to kill. I think he just wanted to kill, and I don't think there's a good way to deal with that. It's so hard. And it just that terrifies me. I think that's why he's the scariest to me. But yeah, just everything about Stu was perfect in my opinion as a Ghostface. He was the perfect counterbalance to Billy. I just want to point out too, I am one of the only people I've ever heard say I don't think Stu was confused by Billy's motive when Billy laid his motive out. I think Stu was just kind of mirroring Sydney's face because it was one of those things where I think he has some mental deficiencies, and it's a well documented phenomenon where when people don't know how to act in a certain situation because of that, they'll mirror someone else. And if you look when it cuts to Sydney's face, she has the exact same face. And I think it was just him mirroring Sydney.
So many words he was mocking her.
Yeah.
Kind of mocking her, but I'm going to ask Matthew Lillard that question when I meet him at the convention. Marcus,
Yep, at Oaks, PA. Let's
Yeah.
go.
I've just decided when I go, I'm gonna ask him like, hey, in this scene, did Stu know what Billy's motives were? Was he confused, or was he just mirroring Sydney's face? That's what I'm going to ask him. I'm going to take my camera, so I'll get the answer for everyone. But yeah, I like I said, I'm one of the people who I don't think he looked confused. I think he was just in the moment and kind of making fun of Sydney.
I mean, now that you put it that way, I'm not. I mean, I still believe he was shocked, but I can see why you would take it that way because
Yeah.
it does line up with the goofiness of Stu as well. You know, especially in that moment because he was definitely like when Billy, told spilled the beans about taking Sid's virginity. Now you're no longer a virgin. Ooh, like, so I can definitely see why you view it that way.
And also, I just think if I'm thinking about it, was there no discussion about killing Marine Prescott? Like, did they just go in to do it without ever talking about it? I assume Stu knew. Like, why else would, like, Billy had to have said something? Because as crazy as Stu is, I don't think Billy is going to say, "Hey, we should go kill this woman," and Stu just be like, "Why do you want to? Like, let's do it." I don't know why you want to kill her, but let's do it. Like, I feel like Stu would ask at least. So
And something about Stu, you could set him off. You don't want to set him off. Like,
I will
exactly.
say this about Stu for me. If he is revealed to be alive, you know what I mean? And especially, I want to say depending on how Radio Silence writes the character, if that is who, does the next movie and if we have the same writers. But I agree that, especially in order to kind of keep the character fresh, mix it up with the darkness and keeping him the same old Stu Macher we love. Give it a perfect blend. But if he does come back, if he is revealed to be alive, I don't see how you after that point you can rank anybody above him. I mean, or like as the best Ghostface, because if he is alive, then he completed, in so many words, he completed the mission, part of the mission anyway. Well, the ultimate goal that him and Billy set out, which was to make it to the sequel. So I don't see how, if he does come back, I don't see how any Ghostface from then on out can be ranked above him. So I will say, if he does come back, he will most likely shoot up to my number one.
All right, yeah. I mean, that obviously remains to be seen, but
Right.
I right now, I don't think there's. Well, if you look at it, there's a pattern. It's Stu, then someone else, Stu, someone else, Stu. But then if you look
Right.
at the second spot, so Stu is either number 2 or number 1 on everyone's list here.
Right.
I don't think there's any. I don't think there's anything wrong with him being in either of those spots. I don't think there's anything wrong with him being anywhere on your list. If you got a difference of opinion, that's totally cool. You have a reason for doing so, and even if even if it's you like the way he looks, however you want to rank them, that's your ranking. I'm totally cool with that. These just happen to be ours. And if you look, none of us have the same list. Like they're close, they're similar, but like
there's some differences.
Yeah, like look at Jill for instance. The top 3 people all have Jill in the same spot, but then she drops 3 spots back. Then she moves 2 spots up. Like it's so cool that
What about that Charlie?
Charlie has a big spread, man. Charlie goes from 5 to 13.
I'm just messing with my buddy Marcus.
I figured.
It's okay, because much like Stu, he's going to come back and gain his respect.
Bro, it's not impossible.
Oh, like I said before, man, me personally, in terms of, their killing styles, and I just think Stu would be the perfect mentor to Charlie, and I think Charlie benefits him well, especially with the new age and times and stuff like that. It would be cool to see.
Oh yeah, I wouldn't hate it. I'll also just point out that on our lists, and your list could be different, your ranking could be different.
Right.
But of our rankings, no Ghostface past Scream 4 cracked the top 5.
That is true. That is a good point that you made, Eric.
like they don't, Ghostfaces today don't live up to our original, our OG Ghostfaces.
True.
And I never even considered Marcus Stu coming back and changing my rating, because I've been a Stu fan since I saw Stu, and I don't think I haven't considered anything ever changing that. But I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna be a realist. They could bring Stu back and take away from his legacy a little. They could.
That is true.
They could right it wrong. I don't.
That's very true, Eric.
It's
and
a risk.
I
think it's worth it.
Depending how these guys, if it's going to be Radio Silence again, depending on how they write them, it definitely could either elevate his legacy or hurt his legacy. Hopefully, they'll elevate the legacy. So, whoever it is, whether it's Radio Silence or somebody else, and if they decide to go in that direction, hopefully they elevate the legacy of the man.
Oh yeah, I agree, and I think they will.
I agree.
I'm gonna save that, and I'll send it to you all because, like I said, you can, if you wanna post it, maybe clip your portion out.
I'm gonna probably just end up doing a video just rehashing it.
Yeah, man. Feel free, obviously. And I was thinking about cutting mine down into a short.
Heck yeah, why not?
Yeah, if you've got your ranking, you could just easily make a
quick 30-second, 60-second short.
yeah, and make a quick short, being like, "This is my Ghostface ranking." Man, what was the biggest surprise to y'all? And of course, I took it down so you can't see it anymore. But 1 second, I think there you go. Let's see.
The biggest surprise for me was Steven having Charlie so high. I ain't gonna lie. I did not see that coming.
Yeah.
There you go. There's the list. So Charlie made it top half for Steven.
Yeah, I was shocked about that. I honestly thought that Steven was going to have him way low.
Man, I swore Amber was going to be the last place for Steven. With as much as like it goes down with Amber, I was swearing she was going to be last for him. But hey, good on him for realizing to look at it in a different way. That's something a lot of people don't do. I think a lot of people they feel like once they make an opinion, they have to stick with it, even if their mind changes. And I applaud him for saying that, for saying I started looking at it a different way, taking these things into account, and I have to.
Is that me to your right shoulder?
My right shoulder
up.
Oh yeah, that's us, man. Yeah, man, that's us at Texas Right
Sorry,
there.
man, I didn't mean to oh, okay, all right, yeah.
Yeah, remember that was so fun.
Hell yeah. I was just looking at your stuff and I was like, hold on, that looks like me.
Yeah, man, that's you. I got another one too. It's got Rawhead in it.
That was a fun night.
Yeah, dude, y'all need to get on your stuff for Oaks, PA if you're coming. Because
have you sent me that in a personal message?
Oh, let me do that now. I thought I did the other day, but I didn't. And dude, I'm so excited for it because like I said, they still have VIP tickets available. Obviously, a little more expensive, but you get the front of the line.
Yep.
And you get the front of the line, you get 30 minutes early. So, and plus you get the shirt. So I'm totally cool with it.
And plus, I'm not going to lie, Monster Mania is one of the cheaper VIP tickets for a convention out there.
Yeah, dude, I was looking at
Have they already went on sale?
Yeah, they're already on sale. I already got my VIP tickets.
Are VIP sold out?
They weren't yesterday when I checked. So.
Oh, yeah. Send me that link.
Oh, that doesn't surprise me. I knew they were going to sell like hotcakes.
Well, that's the thing. Like, they just announced 57. Right now, they've only got 8 guests announced.
Right, so they might have more VIP tickets coming, you think?
They're not sold out yet, but
okay.
Yeah, they're definitely going to have more people.
I assume so, yeah.
Who's all the guests that are coming?
Right now, the only 8 that are announced, it's Matthew, Stu,
Matthew,
Nev, Skeet, Jamie,
Lee
Waddell, the stunt performer who played Ghostfaces, Roger L. Jackson, the voice, obviously, and then there's the two main characters from American Werewolf in London. Those are the only 8 that are announced right now. I just looked. We've been talking about Freddy here recently, obviously because of the because of the Robert Englund interview. Jackie Earl Haley is making his first ever convention appearance at
Oh
I think it's
wow.
55. So you can actually meet the other
Wait,
Friday.
is that in Jersey?
Yeah, that's the one that's in Jersey.
Count me in. I'm already going. So, yep, he's now added to the list.
Yeah, Jackie Earl Haley. And he also, I mean, if you didn't like him as Freddy, he was amazing as Rorschach
Yep.
Yeah.
in Watchmen. So,
I also loved his appearance in Shutter Island.
oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
But there's
love
also
Shutter
Alyssa Sutherland. Dude,
Yep.
I'm
I cannot wait
sad
to
I'm not
meet
going
her.
to that one. I wish I could go to all of them, but
Yeah, send me that stuff and I'll make arrangements.
I just sent it to you on Instagram.
If y'all want to get like a room together and split it 3 ways, I'm down for that.
Yeah, that might not be a bad idea, man. Probably because it's not until November, so we got plenty of time.
Yep.
Yeah.
So David, man, bro, I've tried, and I know Marcus, you've asked too. Like every time I get the chance to see him, try to get him on the stream. It's just tough.
It is. It is. It's real tough, but we're gonna try.
Yeah, I was about to say we're gonna keep trying anything we can do, and specifically conventions, because he's not focused on scheduling things for future. He's focused on getting as many people through, seeing as many people as he can. So it's rough there. But also, if you try to get in touch with him through like normal means, you have to go through management and representatives, and you don't ever really reach Matthew. So it's tough. But we're trying to get him on. Get jealous when you hear about Horror Convention USA and you start one in Australia. First guest would be Aussie. Bro, that is a fantastic idea. And Alyssa Sutherland from
Evil Dead.
Evil Dead. Yeah, Evil Dead, right. She's Australian, I believe.
Yes, she is.
Yeah.
Bro, get on it. Like you could, I know it might sound far-fetched, but you could start one yourself. Like you find a place and get funding for it. Like get vendors.
Yeah.
Bro, you could get one going, and I know or just fly over here to the great US of A and come to one with us.
Right.
I would ask Jackie Earl Haley about working with Tom Cruise and losing it plus breaking away. I don't know those. Do y'all know those?
No.
Huh. All right. All right, y'all. I think we're probably a couple minutes here gonna wrap this up. It is getting about 1:45 here, close on the East Coast. So, are you saying you got 100 on paying for Matthew to be on the stream, bro? We're working on it. Like I said, we're going to do everything we can.
Right. I will say this, because I know some do it, but usually when they do offer it, it's on basically the list of stuff you can get when you go to their table. I do know for a fact that some do videos. You got to pay for it, but $60 to $100, something like that. Now, some of them do video shout outs and all that stuff. Last time I seen Matthew, I did not see that at his table. So maybe I could ask, but I don't think he does it.
I know at Texas Frightmare, and Destin, you can attest to this. I think when you went up to Matthew's table, he actually had a sign on his that says no video shout outs or no videos
Gotcha.
or something.
Yeah.
So he didn't do them then. And that might change. You never know. Like he does have the
Jamie and Skeet was pretty cool about extra stuff like that.
Yeah, I know Jamie. I know you got Jamie to do your a shout out for you, Destin.
Yeah.
And it's pretty cool.
I almost got Robert, but Robert wants money.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the whole gimmick of.
I would pay for it. I would.
Yeah, that's
for
how
someone
I
like
like.
Robert. Hell yeah.
I'm gonna ask.
100%.
I'm gonna ask Matthew's representatives and be like, "Is there any way I can get a video? I will pay for it. I don't care."
Yeah, I'm going. I'm not expecting Matthew. I'm not expecting anything. I want to see him. However, I'm going to the one person I'm going to ask is I'm going to ask Roger L. Jackson because to get the Ghostface voice,
Oh
to
yeah.
get something, I'm going to do it. Steven's not here, but and I think I already mentioned it, I'm going to see if I can get him to do Ghostface voice and do the Welcome to Craven, something scary where it's all horror all the
Right.
time. Dude, I think that would be sick to get like to get the actual
Yes.
Ghostface to do it.
Yeah.
If I had a call sign or an intro, I'd probably ask him for that, but I don't have one. It's something I don't really have. So, all right, y'all, we're gonna jump off here in a minute. Before we go, anything? I know you did plugs earlier, but before we jump off here, anything you want to plug?
I'll plug real quick. Like I said, I'm just going to be putting together some episodes of the podcast. You know what I mean? Going through certain, hot topics in the horror industry. See what other new movies we might have coming out. See some ones that might not be being talked about so much. So stuff like that. I'm going to obviously be having some videos coming out. I am going to be doing some more like Saw videos because that's going to be creeping up here within the next 4 months. Five Nights at Freddy's as well. Fan films. Like I have a couple things on the horizon, especially for the fan films and stuff, because I do want to start covering those. And of course, me and Destination Stations podcast, Horror Hooligans. We're putting that together, so definitely stay tuned for that news.
Besides my Lisa Wilcox interview and my ranking American Horror Story with Naomi, the other one I want to plug is not sure what day yet, but we're confirming that I'm going to be interviewing Adam Marcus, Jason Goes to Hell director. So,
Nice,
yeah.
nice. It's a good get as well. Destin, I know you got the horror hooligans. Anything else? Got any live streams coming up?
Yeah, I've just launched my live streams, like my Friday nights that I used to have. Like I'm gonna start having those on the regular, and I have some short films that I have a short film that's coming out. It's almost done editing. It's going to be posted on my channel here very soon. It's not shots. It's not a short film of anything that I've been working on, but it's just something fun for the channel. I have a few unboxings, and just straight out of theater reactions and horror news and Scream, Halloween, and everything in between. It's
I like
just
that.
the same old thing every week. This is what I live, breathe, and eat.
That's right.
Hey man, I'm here for it. That's pretty much what I got going on too. I'm trying to get into more of like pre-recorded videos, but I'm really digging the live streams, the
I
interaction.
love the live streams.
Dude, they're so good. And I've been really into the brackets and the rankings.
Yeah, what was this that you used today?
It's called Tier Maker. It's
Okay.
tiermaker.com. It's completely free. You make a custom one. If you hold on a second. Let's see. This is a little behind the scenes stuff for y'all, but if you wanna watch, here you go. If you go and you sign in, it's completely free. Like I said, go to create a template, and you can put in like the name, category, and I usually use I did characters, description, and then you pick you get the images that you want. I think you can upload. I think you can upload like 120 of them or something. But yeah, you do that, and then you set what you want your rows to be. You have to have at least 5, but you can do up to 10, and then you submit it, and then it'll open up. If you go to here's the one we just did.
Wow.
Yeah, and you go up and you can put it in what's called presentation mode, or I don't see it here because I think we've already done it. The reason is because we've completed it, but Yeah, you could do that and put it in presentation mode, and then you go do it. It's really cool, completely free. It's a fun way to interact. Tier Maker, TIERMAKER.
Yeah.
And then I use Bracket HQ for my competition brackets. To do like we did so far. I think we did Final Girl bracket, and we did a. Were you here for? I think you were there for one of them. I vaguely remember seeing you in the chat, but yeah, dude, I've been enjoying doing these things so much, interacting with the chat. Excuse me.
What if
So
we
yeah.
just did a live stream 24/7?
And just transferred it to
365.
people?
Yeah, we like we're sleeping, but we got the camera right there as we sleep. We wake up, day in the life. We could just keep going with it.
People do that. That's not for me. That's not for me, but people do it. People get paid a lot of money to do it. But yeah. All right, y'all. I think that about wraps it up. Thank you so much for coming. I'm very surprised by a lot of the lists. We got to do this again soon, ranking something different. I'm probably going to do a poll in the chat to see what they want to see ranked next. Then we'll set up a live stream to rank those out.
I'll definitely be down for that.
Yeah.
All right, cool.
I'm gonna say real quick. I do want to say because I'm gonna ask Steven if next Wednesday is a good time for him, Eric. But our 1K celebration joint stream, brother.
Yeah,
You know what
we
I
got to
mean?
get on that because
Yes, we do.
I'm pushing 1100 now.
I know. So we definitely got to get on that. So I'm gonna message Steven in the morning, see if next Wednesday works for him, if that works for you, or just pick a day. And I'm good basically Sunday through Thursday. So we'll figure it out for sure. But I'm gonna see what day works for Steven as well.
Yeah, perfect, man. As soon as we can get that set up, that'll be a fun stream. I'll probably do some art to do as a giveaway.
Yeah, Katie said she'll put together some games for us and stuff like that. So, we got her on the games list and stuff. And real quick, I do want to plug that I will be on Katie's channel, Popping the Popcorn, Tuesday night at 9 p.m. Eastern Time for a Creators Corner. She has this new little series on the channel covering, content creators, talking about their journey and just everything, about the journey of being a YouTube content creator and, just engaging with audiences and all that good stuff. So definitely tune in. It's going to be a fun time.
And since my schedule is open up, I'd love to have all of you guys on my channel
Yes.
at some point.
Yeah, man, you got something coming up? Let me know. I'll see if I can jump
For
on.
sure. I'll definitely talk to you guys, DM me about it.
Perfect.
Sounds good, man.
Sounds great.
All right, everyone in the chat, everyone watching the replay. Hope you have a wonderful, safe weekend, and I love you all.